Make sure you lodge the BB end of it. I'm probably gonna want to mask it. Recording, right? Still gonna want to mask.
Yeah.
Have you really been that out of? He hasn't told you anything?
No, I know that he's working on some of the aesthetic assist.
So this is the airsoft training that I've always been telling you about.
Yes.
So I was going to bring this. I was going to wear the same kind of armor John's got on, but I'll let you go ahead and slide into that. And I've got an extra long sleeve shirt here you can throw on.
Armor?
Did you see the post?
No. Well, which one?
I threw up a post early in the week and said, you know, we're getting to the point now where with a lot of the entries we're doing, where if you want to wear armor, go ahead.
I would like my gloves though. I'm gonna go get those.
Yeah. Those fingertip shots.
Oh,
are brutal.
I had one that was like, man, it was just a little while ago it went away.
Yeah, me too. The last 2 times I had gotten really bad blood blisters from getting shot in the fingers.
One of my pinkies is still tender. Like every now and then I'll hit the tip of it and I'm like, why is that still? And that's been like, over a month.
Am I doing this right?
Figured out when I bought this. I don't know if you've seen this actual size.
Oh, nice.
What the hell is that? Oh,
And that's the computer. And that's the
Oh,
battery.
really?
Yeah.
So it's similar to, I think of it as,
And that's the keyboard.
well, you said PCs, or not PCs, but does it have a projector then?
No.
Or what do you just hook it up?
I'm gonna order
As soon as I
glasses.
start wearing this, people are going to
Oh, really?
take it
Cool.
off.
So,
it's an
once
even
I'll
smaller
give
version
a
of
full-on
those,
briefing, but the
Oh,
only
mini
thing
Macs?
you absolutely have to do is
That's kind of
don't ever
what
take
those
that
are.
off until we say, okay, mask's off. The only way these things can really hurt you is if you got shot in the eye.
That's fine.
But what happens is people get adrenalized, and you'll see Don does it a lot, where at the, like we'll call time out, and he'll pull off his mask right away, and people are still holding their guns, and because everybody's adrenalized, they're talking, oh yeah, I was doing this and doing that, and they're pointing their gun all over the place.
No, I'm going to be shooting it, Aaron, so don't worry about it.
Can you pull out your phone? I'm trying to stream right now. Can you just check on the YouTube channel and see if we're streaming?
So I'm really curious to hear about what Paul had to say.
I'll tell you some of the details after we're done. He may be watching right now. Hey, Paul. Hey, everybody.
I don't need all of this trim, it's not going to do me any good in my pocket.
Yeah, I sent an invite to Alex and to Paul and to a bunch of people, like probably about 15 people, with the link to watch that. So
Oh, really?
beware.
Where's your camera?
It's actually good, but it's right back there, but you don't even touch it. Like it's perfect right now.
Because we can mount it on the stand with this.
So are we not streaming? We don't need.
No.
Okay. Good.
That's what I see. I don't know what that is.
So I'm really curious. Are we not streaming, or is it one of those
Your,
weird?
Your video photographer mask.
Thank you.
So it thinks it's streaming.
Maybe it is. I went to the link that you sent me earlier on Hangouts.
That's going to be the wrong one. And you know what? I wonder if the link that I sent out to everybody is the wrong one.
You have a mask and gun. You have a mask and gun. Mask and gun. Pass out lights again, Mike?
Yeah.
too, Joe?
Sorry?
There's a light for you. All sorts of fun things going on.
I would love to know what this is about, you know, like, I don't mind shooting people, but
Treat them, well, Mike will tell you, but try to treat it always like a real
Well
weapon,
done.
so keep it, pointed down, don't, look down the barrel and stuff like that.
oh, what makes you think I don't shoot real guns?
Well, I would like to think you wouldn't do such a thing.
Darling.
You want a light?
Yeah.
I think we can do that, yeah, because Don has one. Or not Don, Dean has one.
Yeah.
Is that one broken? I'll use a broken one, I don't know. Yeah, it still works this one.
Want to use this one? That sounds just kind of like a
Oh,
broken
yeah.
observing
Well-
person.
It's already broken, so you might as well just keep, if it gets shot again, it might as well be, you're not gonna be intentionally getting shot.
True.
The fill, the gas fill.
The other guy.
That's
There's
CO2 one, that's gonna be,
CO2.
okay, it'll be, it should be fine.
Okay.
They seem to stay sealed up pretty well, obviously, test fire it.
A 6mm BB, plastic BB. We'll give you a chance to play with it a little bit before we go.
There's a 7-Eleven across the street, man, but
Beer or something.
Yeah, we'll have a little thing where we brief you on the gun and how to move and stuff like that.
so do you know, you happy to enliven it? Everything-
John did the streaming.
It's going all right. There's been a lot of change.
I think I went to an old link.
That might be an understatement, but
We don't know if it's streaming right
it's
now
still
or not.
interesting. You know, there's different challenges and stuff. So
I could go upstairs and check.
Did I send you the newest link?
I don't know.
I think I did, actually. Yeah, if you want to go check.
It's a long walk for you, though.
It is.
Yeah, it's a rough one.
it's really Groovy and Grails.
I gotta push that button too.
Section. They brought a guy in for it. It's interesting. A lot of our development.
Jonathan
is
called
in,
me.
Groovy.
Is he not coming?
Oh, yeah, no, you're not coming.
These days.
Yeah,
so. Different world, more Microsoft.
Yeah, and somebody said, well, that's probably gonna happen over time, but,
Like I said, I think he's just wasting our time. It's one thing if you have something going on, but if you've committed.
He said, he goes, man, he goes, guys, I'm just stuck. He goes,
Is it
I take
up?
my poison.
There it is. We almost seen it cut some of that foam out of that mic or something.
Yeah, I can't, having trouble seeing over.
'Cause it's,
Okay, then
Mike,
you
I
got it.
got, yeah,
Yeah,
grab this
just
little bracket up to it and maybe,
Oh, if we just flip this.
camera guy, I can just carry it around.
How's that, John?
I'm not gonna know for another minute. There's like a minute delay.
Okay, that looks pretty good.
Hey, the combat cameraman, Don?
I am. I am. I'm embedded with you guys,
Yeah.
so to speak.
So check out my wheels. In fact, Don, grab the camera and
What's up, Rob?
you can film these. I don't know if they're going to work or not, and even if they do work, they may self-destruct.
It could be. There's one side of those vans that I wouldn't want to be on. You got a clip on though, you'll be alright.
Yeah, I'll be fine. So these are my exoskeleton knee braces, version 5.
Version 5 already.
Yeah. All the other versions, I didn't even bother to build 2. I would put one of them together, and I'd learn so much about what didn't work. I'm like, not even worth making.
Don't even finish.
And this one finally got it to the point where it was actually worth putting together the second one. And even this one, I've already figured out a bunch of flaws in the design. But remember when we were building the airplanes? I found this website that Mark Payton gave me. It's called eMachine Shop, and you download their CAD software, you draw out what you want, you upload the image to them, and they build it for you. So the next version of these, I actually I'm getting ready to order from those guys.
You even got it set up with your sights too, Mark. Huh?
Yeah. So I got the new airsoft gun and the new wheels tonight.
That's so cool.
No sneak attacks on the whiskey team.
Yeah, let's see.
Oh, this is the alarm. I was wondering
It's,
if there's a thermostat we
The
could
one back there.
turn down a little.
Yeah, there's one, it's right out in the front room and one in the hallway.
Yeah, 74.
Can we turn these down, Don, for...
Yeah, you bet.
Just hit mode like 3 times.
Mode 3 times?
Just here, I got it. Yeah, it's off. Well, it's off, so that's good. Just leave it off for now.
leave this one on?
Actually, just go back to the off. As soon as it starts to warm up, crank it up.
I'm waiting for you to put that helmet on and say, Luke, I am your father.
Excellent. Thank you.
I need a holster. Wow, it's a bunch of work getting into that, isn't it?
Yeah, did you ever see Iron Man when he's got the suit and he drops it on the floor and it installs itself?
You don't have that?
That's version like 9.
9? Wow.
Next week.
Why don't you just focus on clothes for a woman that come off instead?
I got that one down. Don't worry. I'm there. That was version like beta .001. Had that when I was 14.
That's a verbal thing, man. That's not even a...
All right. I have no idea how. So basically, the heel straps were an add-on. There's MIT has a company they're kind of working with called the WIS Institute, and I found this other company that does a similar idea, but they use a carbon fiber tray with a rod that comes up the back of your calf and attaches right under your knee. And essentially what it is it's an Achilles heel assist. So you know how when you push off of stuff, these give you just a little bit more push. And there's another company I saw on the internet where what they're doing is doing a wrap around the thigh, and they do like a waist belt.
Yeah.
And then they can come across how your muscles wrap, and I think bungees would work fine, just like I've been using, but it lifts your thigh.
Oh.
And so I think I'm just kind of playing with it. The piece that I really want is what I have here on the knee braces, which is kind of a standardized knee brace. The only thing that's different about these from the ones you might buy from Bragg or somebody like that is this bell crank. So I have a bell crank that comes up, kind of like airplanes do for control systems, comes up above the knee joint, about 4 inches. And then bungees, 2 sets of bungees that I've made with surgical rubber, attach onto that and attach at the top strut up here. And so the way it works is normally my knees are so shot that even 20 years ago I couldn't really drop into a kneeling position. With these, I can drop like this, and now, right now my weight is completely on the bungee. And so I can sit in this position like all day long and then do moves like this and stand back up.
Wow.
And it's about what I could do that when I was 24. By the time I was 30, probably couldn't even do it anymore. My knees were so shot. Now at 300, not working at all. Until these.
I work with Michelle all the time. I spend a lot of time on my knees.
She's probably watching right now, by the way. So anyway, they're actually doing what they're supposed to, in the sense that, and I don't want to point my brand new, beautiful airsoft gun at you guys, but these are the guns we train with. And so this one is a Glock look-alike airsoft gun. Has a light that's made for a Glock underneath with a, let me turn it on, with a switch right underneath the trigger guard. And then it also has the same sights that I use on my real Glock, which are called, I think Snake Eyes is what they call them. But it's really good for switching hands and having your non-dominant eye pick up the sights. Because on a regular set, my dominant eye, my right eye, when I go left-handed, his gun just sprung a leak. But he's got it in backwards. But anyway, my non-dominant eye is always trying to pick up the sights, so I think I'm right on, and I'm actually missing by about 20 degrees. Anyway, with these braces, I can do stuff like drop into a squat, roll, stand back up, which I haven't been able to do for probably 15 years.
So cool.
You can see, like I said, these are probably going to self-destruct in the course of training. Hopefully not while we're still staging here. But I can do stuff like drop, roll, stand up, move, and you can see I've even got a little bit more spring. The heel assist, the Achilles heel assist,
That's got to be really
seems
good.
to be giving me a little bit of spring, which I haven't really experimented with. I saw it in a video the other day, and I went, I can do that. And I put it together in about an hour and never even tested it.
That's super cool.
They're, right now, I'm just going to kind of talk to the camera because I'm going to use this for notes later on what I need to change, but the right one on the inside of the leg needs to be bent out a little bit when it gets close to my ankle, because right now it's biting me pretty hard.
Oh.
So I'll probably have a little bruise or something tomorrow, but I don't care.
So it's pushing in. This one's pushing in.
Yeah,
This way. You want to bring it
No,
out of there?
the bottom, you can see where I bent it out a little bit right there,
Yeah.
but it needs to, the whole strut needs
Yeah.
to be bent to follow my shin more.
Yeah.
The outside, you can see how I bent these to follow the shin.
Yeah, I see where that one's kind of banging into you.
Yep, it's real straight, and so it's digging in right where it touches my ankle again. Like I said, little pain is good for the soul. Okay, Jeffrey, gloves. And my suggestion is take the helmet off, the mask off,
Hey, brother.
whenever you can.
Could you be camera man for a minute?
Otherwise, you'll sweat. You'll start to sweat.
Whatever
Your
looks
sweat will fog it,
interesting, but don't
and then you put it
follow
on, you
me.
won't be able to see
Over
it. Okay, there's the mask. Make sure I got BBs. Just my luck, I'm all excited about my cool wheels and don't load up my magazines and get out and go pop, pop, pop with empty mags. So I've been working on these for about 2 months now. Like I said, this is version 5, and even between left and right, they're like version 5 versus version 5.5 or something like that. But I figured they were in a good enough state that it would be worthwhile trying them out and under some, I can sit and do it at home all day long, but until you really try them doing something, it's hard to know if they really work or not.
That's cool. That's got to feel really good. I mean, except for a little bite down here by your arm, but it's got to feel really good, though, to be able to...
The string they give me, the movement they're letting me have, is really cool.
That's so cool.
I haven't been able to do this kind of stuff since I was young.
I mean, even if you weren't beat up a little bit down there, it'd probably be really good, you know? It's like, gosh,
They're
little extra mojo.
little extra mojo, a lot of extra mojo. The next versions I've already got planned, kind of into the future, but a couple versions from now. Right now I'm powering these with surgical rubber tubing. You can come close to those if you want. And I probably always will. I've got some plans to make synthetic muscle out of fishing line. There's a bunch of stuff, bunch of articles on the internet about how to do it. But the problem is the stuff doesn't have a really fast response time. They have to heat the synthetic muscle.
I've been wondering about that ever since you talked about it.
So what I'm planning to do, at least with the fishing line, is make the synthetic muscle. Right now, like in these, if I sat down, I really can't bend my legs much past 90 degrees because I'd be fighting the bungees. But with that, what I can do, I figured out a way to put pulleys here, put the muscle down on the shin, or the side of the calf, and then set it up so that when I'm in a position and I'm planning to use like an Arduino or one of the Raspberry Pis like John's been doing for the mask or for the
Right.
helmet. And what I can do is set it up so that it senses when I'm in a
Position sensor.
position to stand up, and it goes, oh, you must want to stand up. I'll tighten down those muscles and put pressure on the bungees.
Yeah.
And so then, and then, so when they're not tightened down, the bungees would just, the cords right here would just be slack all the time, so they wouldn't get in the way. And then when the synthetic muscle kicks in, they would pull the bungees tight. So you get the really fast response time of the bungee and the on and off of the synthetic muscle.
Very cool.
And maybe someday, if we get somebody to work with us who's doing carbon nanotube muscles, those can be activated with electricity. So then I think the response time on those might be fast enough to replace the bungees with the synthetic muscle completely. Okay, I have no idea if anybody's watching live right now, but this records as well. Our format is we do like 3 different sessions. The first hour, first 45 minutes hour, we do individual training where we practice mostly, like in this building at least, we practice cornering, different cornering type moves. Then the second hour we do like team type stuff like team cornering, team movement. And the third hour we do just like a martial art, we just spar. We normally only train if we have 5 or more people. So we take 1 or 2 people out, usually 1 with the small group we have. The team goes in any given room. 1 person goes out and can go wherever they want, do whatever they want with the lights and stuff like that. Team gives them 2 or 3 minutes, and then we come out and go after them. As soon as we're done, next guy goes out, we just keep round robining until everybody's had their turn. Did Jeff get a light?
Yes.
You got one?
Got it.
You?
No, there should be.
Who got the broken one?
I think Aaron picked it up.
Oh, is that the one I just handed him?
Like I said, you can have this one if you want.
So while I go change shirts, tell the camera how we broke that last time.
Well, last week we were shooting and we were holding up, or whatever, we were just doing regular room entries and somebody managed to get accurate enough to catch the light.
Twice. I poked my head out. I poked my head out into the space there, and bam, hit right in the light. I think I did 2 times. I went, God dang, let me try that again. And stuck my head out again. Like, boink. Oh my God, somebody's shooting good.
And it actually broke the plastic.
Yeah, it did manage to break
It very broke it.
the light. Wow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Dead on.
Yep.
It was like that was like Carlos Hathcock shot right there.
Pretty sure. Mike shooting once again. Or throwing, one of the 2.
Slingshot.
Yeah, I found some really big rocks in here after we turned on the lights. It was weird.
That's the cool thing about these, is when they break, I still got the parts for a slingshot.
Nice.
Pretty powerful one at that. Spans are strong. Just regular.
What happened to the zipper on that? It looks like it broke.
No, it probably is, I just put too much weight on it, that's all.
All right, looks like we're ready to go. Where's my mask? Here's my mask. Give Jeff my gloves and my armor. See if you can fix the zipper.
Are we going mask and guns right off the bat?
Break it, just fix it.
I'm going to have to just pull it off and sew a new one in there. I'm actually going to buy a upholstery sewing machine. See if you can help him fix that. It looks like the zipper went on wrong and just pulled apart.
You need to keep the zipper close. Go ahead.
I'm down with it. First, I suppose.
No big deal. You can't fix it, I'll just cut it off.
It'll go back, it's just not gonna...
I don't know if that's one of those self-annealing, some of them fix themselves. So what do you think about the wheels? Pretty cool, huh?
That's very cool.
Version 11 is going to fly.
It's going to have wings.
Uh-huh.
You know what? So I'm looking at this, I was wondering, what about, do you think the muscle would function better if the muscle was attached to a little wheel right there that could rotate and move?
Don't think it really matters.
Doesn't matter?
The upper
It's not-
attachment doesn't matter anyway.
That's what I meant.
The next
I
version...
just wonder if it'd put less strain on it, you know what I mean? So that it could,
Not really.
not so much, huh?
These are, in fact, I'm actually going to, you can see the upper strut is made out of 3/16 aluminum right now.
Yeah.
It's actually way more than I need. The next version
All 1/8 inch?
is going to 1/8 inch. I've realized that that's plenty.
Just overdoing it there on the 3/16.
I didn't know how much strength they would need, but then the next version, I'm actually bringing the aluminum, the two side struts on the uppers and lowers are going to be attached by cross pieces. The upper one will be a nice smooth curve, the bottom one will be, this upper strap here will be replaced by aluminum, and then the same thing is this strap right here will be replaced by aluminum, and the piece coming around the back will be a solid piece,
That's very cool.
which is what the knee brace manufacturers
Well,
seem
no,
to
I
be
think
doing
it
with
was,
their
I
stuff.
just think it wasn't quite all the way
So,
in.
you know, and then even that, I'll try those out, and then the next version, who knows what it'll be like, but that's kind of where I'm going with it.
It's a cool project. How's the male enhancement project coming?
Pretty good.
Pretty good? Okay. Nice. Good to know.
My daughter may be watching this, by the way. Sorry.
Let's do it.
All right.
I didn't start that. But I never backed down. All right, let's go to the other room. So you can leave either holster your guns or leave them sitting on the counter here, and you can leave. You can actually leave masks here too. So we'll kind of go back to basics for Jeff. Give Jeff a chance to catch up. So. The door. Got our door stopper.
Is that us?
We got a bunch of little things. That's us.
Wow.
Paint that door.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done some on that one too. We'll probably have to get some paint and
Little touch up.
find somebody that wants some extra money and
Nah, no big deal.
paint the door. Doors.
I know my landlord's got some of that, so I'll just come through and.
Let's not dwell.
It's that, no, never
Okay,
mind.
so let's see. So let me have this area right here. So basically, you know, if we're coming down a hallway like this, there's a bunch of extra stuff as far as how we handle the hallway. But the big thing is if we have a team and we don't know if there's somebody in these rooms, we have kind of a challenge, right? I mean, first of all, there's a bunch of different other directions we have to take care of. We're going to ignore those right now as we go back to basics. But there's a bunch of different entry techniques that have come in over time. And one of them, you know, was the old, really old 80s Miami Vice where they come up to the door and they're standing like this and they jump around and then they get shot. Well, on TV it worked, but they would have got shot. So then there's the, just run in the room, and, you know, the big thing about going into rooms is, you go in and you look one way, you get shot in the back of the head. So then you go, oh, there could be a guy there. So you'll go in and you look the other way, you get shot in the forehead. So then you got to start figuring out, how do I actually do this? And so one of the big things that's been around for a long time is called pie slicing, where what we do is we have our weapon out in front of us, we get up to the door jamb, and rather than try to take on the whole room at the same time, we want to take on just a little piece of it at a time, look at it, see if it's safe. If it is, then we'll step up and own that piece and look at it a little bit more, and we'll keep doing that until we've seen the whole room. And then we can go in if we want or pass it and keep going. So the way that would look, if I was approaching this doorway, have my weapon, one thing that we're really big on, and I learned this from a company called Combative Concepts years and years ago, before I turned into a geek, So we put our weapon in our whichever hand allows us to keep our body behind the door jamb. So if I went right-handed here, I'd be trying to like stick the weapon around, and I'd have my whole body hanging off out into view. If I go left-handed on this door jamb, now I can keep my eye and the weapon would be the only thing that is sticking around the corner. So if I run into a guy here, all he's going to see is barrel, eye. So what I would do is I lean out and take a look, and I just took a look at a little section about that big, maybe 10, 15 degrees. And I went, oh, I like that. I'm going to step up and own it. Take a look at the next piece. Ooh, that's empty, I like that. Take a look at the next piece. Ah, a guy. Bail out a little bit. And I might want to come back even farther than just standing up in case he decides to start shooting through the walls. But assuming I don't see anybody there, step up and own that. Reach out, step up and own, reach out, step up and own, reach out, step up and own. And then the last piece is really hard because a lot of times the door jambs are in our way, so we got to do our best. We don't want to stick the gun into the room in case there's some guy standing there right on the corner ready to grab it. So what we want to do is try our best to stay on the outside, look down that wall into that deep corner where the cameraman is standing right now, and all we really want is for him to see something about like this. Am I just showing barrel and eye right now?
Pretty much.
So that's basically what I would want to happen. And then now that I've seen the room, now I can step in or pass the room and keep going. So, let's make a line. And what we normally do when we're practicing this, everybody lines up. First guy comes up to the room. You can just take your hand, practice. And especially for Jeff, what you might want to do is come around, spend maybe one or two people from the inside looking at what it looks like from in here, so you can move around. And then you can also spend some time on the outside. There you go. Oh, but it's not to keep it on, it's to protect your belly from getting shot.
Go ahead.
Switch feet, Aaron. Okay, Jeff, come on out so you can watch us do the technique a couple of times, and then you can jump in. Sorry? Just stand where you can see us doing the technique, and then you can watch a couple of times, and then you can go. Back from a lot of weightlifting go, so that I can start to hook these things into the waist as well. Okay, want to try?
Why don't you go, Jim?
I'll go. And
Watch my hand.
so I'm going to start here. In fact, like the farthest back you can start, where you actually get an angle on the door. Set yourself up, and if you think of a line coming straight out from the door jamb, if we had a rifle, it'd be fine to put your feet, like both toes, right on that line. With a pistol, it makes you kind of cross up a little bit, so it helps if you turn, if you can picture that line in your mind, and then you turn 45 degrees to it, helps a lot. So here, 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 there. And it's just, just work on the idea. When we start shooting, you'll find out what you're doing wrong.
Okay. So the point is just to make certain that you see anything that can possibly come across.
Mhm.
Right. And you tend to dip your knees as you move closer, and I'm obviously moving too fast.
No, you're fine. Just kind of play with it. Like I said, you really won't understand the nuance of this
Until you shot and then
start
feel
shooting.
it. Go ahead. The point of kneeling is to make yourself as small as possible.
So we'll come to that next. I'll demo that here in a sec, just because I got my new wheels and I can. I've been teaching the kneeling moves to Aaron because I haven't been able to do them, and it's pissed me off. Okay, so let's say, look at our cameraman out here in front, but let's say I'm doing my price listing moves, and I run into somebody. So I go, whoa! Well, if I really want to get him, let's say I have to solve this right now. I can't just back off and get to a safe position. I've got to get in here. Maybe my buddies depend on me to protect them from something. So if I come right back out in the same place I just saw him, and potentially he saw me, there's a really good chance I'm going to get shot right in the face. So I lean out, I come back up, drop straight down, and roll up low. Now, if he did what most people would be doing, what he's probably done is the minute he saw me, he brings up his weapon and he's pointing it at me. Well, guess what? When I drop and come in low, his hands are right in his way. They're in his line of sight. So a lot of times when you do this to people, their hands are up. They got their weapon in it, whether it's a rifle or a pistol. They're aimed out over the top, and their hands blind them to what's coming in from underneath. So if you make a move like this, where you lean up, drop, and come in low, they don't even see you coming in low. Pretty soon they're getting shot from up underneath, and they don't even know what's hitting them.
If you want an example, we've done it before. Mike showing it. Hold your hands up like you're gonna shoot me right in the
I'm
face.
not going to see you when you...
Both hands up like that, right?
Yeah.
Now what do you see?
Whenever those happen.
Your hands, right?
Yeah.
That's, I'm perfectly, it's perfectly blocking.
No, I understand that. I mean, the first strategy is to get somebody like Alex to go in first. And
Alex may be watching.
No.
Hey, I'm sure he appreciates you volunteering. So then the second thing, Dean, if you would come and demo with me, and again, I'm going to take the lower position, which I almost never do because my knees usually bother me so much. Let's say we've got a guy and we've pinned him in the deep corner. And so he would be like right along this wall on the inside, and he's sitting in there with his gun all ready to go for us. So what we can do is we can step out where you can see. So what we can do is one of us can come in low, and the other one comes in right over the top, and now we have two guns ready to blow them right off that wall. Whereas before, and then what we can do is a lot of the stuff we're doing in the dark. If we have lights on, the upper guy will light, and then he'll about to turn his light off. The lower guy will light. And so the lights are sitting there flashing. He don't even know what's going on. He's trying to figure out, like, and by that time, we've shot him 10 times.
Okay. Idea is to keep the target as small as possible as you're getting into this, and you're assuming that there's somebody in there, correct?
Right.
Why get up at all in the first place? Why not just stay low as you're moving in?
Most of the time, you can't sit very long. If you're in an area that you're searching, if you stay in one place, you're sitting down. So generally, unless you have this huge force that you can control everything with, you usually have to keep moving.
No, but in essence, you should be crouched the whole time that you're moving across.
You would get too tired, and if, let's say, for example, there's a movement that we used to do where you can drop way back here, you can drop down into a kneel, and then come up like this and drop, and you can do your pie slicing completely from the ground like this. The problem is you do that, if the guy senses movement, you're always down there. So now you're just as easy of a target as if you were standing up.
Yeah, not elemental surprise.
So by developing all these different moves, and we developed, and I say we, but it was actually my mentors at Combative Concepts, developed probably about 10 or 15 different moves or different combos of moves. And it's just like sparring, like Don and John and Aaron are really into martial arts. If I sit and all I do is I go jab, cross, jab, cross, and I'm on the same rhythm all the time, it's real easy to beat. If I'm doing jab, cross, hook, uppercut, move, kick, block, move, if I've got moves that I can mix things up with, and I mix up the timing, it's really hard to deal with. So same thing with this. So we're teaching you like the very basic move, kind of showing you what some of the more advanced stuff looks like, but we're keeping them purposely really basic. Just like these guys have been working. Dean's done this for 5 years in total. Don, probably about the same. John and Aaron, probably a little bit less so, so, you know, for you, every time we bring in new beginners, we drop all the way back to the basics so that you don't feel like just overwhelmed. So now, change our little door stop around to the right-hand door. Same thing coming into a room this way. Everything is exactly reversed. So we would, if we're approaching this door, if I did it fast, just to kind of show you the angle, I'm going to be looking like this, all the way up to catching that deep corner. Yeah, doorstop, it isn't deep.
No, we created two of them.
So the right-handed, it's even easier if you're right-handed. It's lean out, own it, stand up into the space. Lean out, own it, stand up. Out, own it, stand up. And again, we would probably, other than for basic practice, wouldn't want to be doing just this all the time. But for practicing, you do it over and over, you'll get it down really well. And this is like the boxing 101 of gunfighting. You want to be really good at this. So let's make our line right here.
Got a question for you. For everybody watching, would you define owning the space and stepping up into the space and stuff? Could you just mention?
Really, really quickly. Go
Just in case anybody missed that.
So I'm standing up, and I'm looking at this open space in the room here, and it's kind of limited by an angle that goes across this door jamb and one that goes down this door jamb. So that space, I have my weapon right here. Anybody moves in there, points a weapon at me, I'm going to shoot him right down if I have to. I can't see what's behind the door. So if I come stepping in and looking this way, bam, get shot in the head. And if I'm standing out here, go ahead, you can stand over where you were.
Okay.
If I'm here, now I've got to take the whole room in all at once. Whereas, if we do our high sussing techniques, I can take a little bitty piece. I'm standing up, I've got a piece right down the camera angle,
Yeah.
and now I lean out,
Yep.
and I'm looking at that, I'm controlling it with my weapon, and I go, I think I'm comfortable. I don't see anybody standing there with a gun, or I do, but I'm pretty comfortable and better. I'm going to stand right up. I'm this corner, I'm on a protection.
You're controlling that. You own the new a new amount of territory, whatever.
Exactly.
Visual territory.
And just for our camera viewers, who may be none, all these walls are like totally, almost useless as any kind of hard cover. If you know anything about construction, there's this little baseboard here, which is about 3/4 of an inch thick, maybe an inch. And there's some dead space. And there's usually 2 2x4s that run right past the wall switch. So at the corner, you get a little bit of hard cover, but if somebody shoots through it, you're probably going to get splinters all over you too, which we never thought of when I was younger. But it's a little bit better than anywhere in the middle, because all the stuff in the middle, most buildings are built on a 16-inch center, which means there'll be a 2x4 here, probably one right in here somewhere, and then every 16 inches on center. And so in between that this stuff is just a little bit better than cardboard. Bullets will go right through it.
So you're really teaching principles. It's about principles.
It's about principle, and it's about hiding behind this stuff and maybe getting a little bit of protection out of it.
Sure.
Because if the bullets are coming into the wall here, you've got a chance the 2x4s will slow them down or stop them. Whereas if I jump into the room, now I've got nothing. I just got me.
Right. your context may vary, because maybe it's a different kind of building or something.
Exactly, like the guys overseas were telling me that, different story, but basically there's a real big inconsistency with how houses are built in like Afghanistan.
Okay.
Hands up, who's in the room? If it's Michaela, we're all dead.
You gotta stop talking about Michaela, because she might watch.
She knows exactly how I feel about that.
So the reason I keep mentioning feet is you want to have your body in like a boxer position. If you get yourself all crossed up, it's really uncomfortable. You can make it work if you have to. There's times when you just don't have time to switch everything. But the more biomechanical of a position you can stay in, the better. Which means that, if we had to search this whole building, which is like, 15 or 20 different office spaces like this, it'd be really tiring if we're constantly doing these things that aren't that biomechanical. Because if we always keep our feet and our body where our weight is centered on our spine and on our legs, and we're using our legs as shock absorbers, and doing kind of like squat type moves, you can do these all day long.
So the general rule for if you're shooting right-handed, your right foot would be back.
Would be right foot back, kind of like a
point.
boxer position.
Okay.
Right hand, the right shoulder's back, left arm is going to grab. You can do, you can either just squeeze like what would be the isosceles position for shooting,
Okay.
or you can even do the push-pull like the, mind fart.
Whatever it is.
Guys, help me out. Non-isosceles, Weaver.
Weaver.
Mr. Weaver. But you do a push-pull, and the idea is that it will help control recoil
Okay.
and return the barrel on each shot when it kicks.
Got it.
Usually it's going to go up. The push-pull pulls it back down into position.
Okay.
And then something like this.
Exactly.
So they're gonna kill us, gonna kill us.
You gotta stop that. Okay, we ready to shoot? Let's do it. Grab masks, grab guns.
Excuse me.
I'm just looking for an excuse to bend my knees.
Trying to make that more interesting than it was.
Right or left first? Left. You know what, for Jeff, you're right-handed, right? Right. Let me make it easier on him to start.
I'll go hand first. It would be better if we had a real party than
Oh, we're going to, don't worry.
Everybody chuckles.
This would be a promotion from Crash Costelli to...
It'll be one that shoots back at you.
No.
Yes.
Ooh, Mufasa!
Holster it or something until we're all,
Yeah, pocket. Oh, yeah. This one is stupid. I put it in my pocket for that.
When we, before we start, just to make sure you know it's firing, take and shoot it like at the carcass so that it bounces, against the back wall. Test fire. Okay, ready?
Yep.
I'm gonna take mine, do the same thing. Test fire. And that wasn't good. I forgot to put air in there.
I heard you loaded one of the magazines.
We're gonna leave the sexual references out of this.
Whoa.
That was interesting.
That was very odd.
Apparently you don't want to load the mag while it's... All right.
Along the line that somebody else will leave problems and come up.
Remember, you're on camera.
Yeah. We can talk about this after.
It makes things look...
Yeah, I studied Ruby on Rails for about 6 months.
Yeah, that one, the guy talked about that, and that one...
We're all digressing into geek speak.
We're shooting.
Okay.
Yeah, let's shoot. I'm with you, man.
Let's do it.
Somebody shoot me.
All right. I will start out by demoing. So, what we're going to do, and Don, you may want to get your photos, everyone gets one shot. Ah, yes. Rules of engagement.
Over here?
Each person gets one shot. So you get one shot at the guy inside, he gets one shot at you, and it's done.
And I'm going to be straight in front of you as you come around, okay? Just
You
so
want me to
clear.
just deep corner, Mike, or? Yeah. Start everybody in the deep corner. Okay. Ready? I'm ready. We're hot. Woo! Yep. All right. I'm inside. Good shot.
Hey, so everybody, I'm going to be straight ahead of you. You don't need to shoot me, okay?
You wanna go Jeff? You want me to go? Hey, ready? We're hot. Got me right in the heart. All right, I'll go ahead. My least sensitive place. So try to push your right arm out straight, and then don't put your left arm, wrap your left hand, around here, and put this thumb like that. Don't get it in the trigger guard, but what you want is, when you're doing a real gun, you want to have a push-pull, where this hand's pulling, and that one's pushing, and you want to try to get this arm out straight. There you go. Now, remember your pie slicing, aim at the, get right at the corner.
You got me in the arm.
Get me in the hip. All right, you're in. Mask on. Yep, you're in. Grab the top right. Yep. I'll show you.
Got it.
Basically, just stand in the far corner, and that's the exercise, right? And then, when you see him, try and shoot. So
Got
you
it.
can. Ready? Jeff? Yep. We're hot. That was good. Shooting, Jeff. Huh? You should do a test shot because it doesn't sound like you're shooting. Jeff, mask on? Sounds like us. Yep. Okay, you're in.
I'm fine now, you got me in hand.
Oh, did? You're in, Jeff. Ready? Ready. We're hot. Tired with the trigger finger. Yeah, I know. Doesn't sound like you're shooting there, right? You're gonna touch on it? I mean,
Why don't you test that, Aaron?
magazine wasn't seated
Is yours firing? Yeah,
We're hot.
apparently.
I don't know, the magazine's here.
We're hot.
Gotta be quicker, Mike.
Your time is up.
Ready? Ready? We're hot. Got me right on the right wrist. You know, I didn't feel it, but I'm powdered up. I'm close. Ready? Ready. We're hot.
What's that? How was it?
I think it hit me right here. Did it get you? You're in.
No way to approach it or not?
No, that's fine. You're in.
Oh,
Everything I've asked,
Good, trying to avoid that.
could you see him when you shot him?
I'm trying to think it was simultaneous or just right after it, but it was close.
So the only thing that when you do this,
One of the rules-
practicing for real shooting, you want to make sure that you can actually identify that the person did have a gun, they were armed, they were going to shoot back at you. When you stick around the corner like that, the problem gets to be, first of all, now the way you did it when you were down low was really good. But if you stick your gun around the corner like this and the guy is sharp, he'll come and take it away from you. But the other thing is you can't see him, so you can't, if you have, as an attorney, you know that when you have to go to court afterwards to explain it,
Yes.
you got a little bit of a problem.
All right, can I stand behind the camera guy?
Or if it was your neighbor that was in the corner hiding and, not...
Right.
I can always get a new neighbor.
I like them anyway.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
You ready? Ready?
Ready?
We're hot.
Right in the hand.
Right in the stomach.
You guys want to switch up the order?
Can we go 2 on 1?
We will. Don't worry. Ready? Yeah, we're out.
No, that's fine. I just accidentally throw some magazine.
Bang. I'm not even going to shoot you. Ready? Ready. We're hot. Check out the door, friends. Ready? Ready. We're hot. Did you?
Oh, no.
I heard both these bombs.
Yeah, frames.
Couldn't tell. Anyway.
They
Yeah,
both ended up over here.
I just caught the very edge of you. They were both out. Both pie slice.
Turn again.
Oh, no. I don't want to go.
So, I have to follow your technique, correct?
Yeah, you're looking pretty good, actually. Way in the corner there. Now, get to see how your weapon is pointed down the hall, but you're going in there. So what you want to do is don't try to bend your wrist. You'll have a real hard time aiming. You keep the weapon and arm straight. You just keep it locked on the corner like this.
The walls in the corner.
And that's... What? Yeah.
I'm sorry?
That.
I just think that when you lean against the thing, you have a lesser target, has a worse angle at you.
Yeah, what we're doing is we're isolating a move, then we'll do another move, then we'll do another one, then we'll do another one. So basically you're kind of jumping ahead in the sequence.
Sorry, I just want to shoot you, man.
You're in.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Yeah, because John was in when I went. Ready? Ready, Jeff?
Ready.
We're not. I'm leading with the one.
I thought that was my shot. Are we done?
I'm shooting now.
Yeah, no, you missed. You shot the wall right next to you. I think so. That's all right.
Okay.
There's got to be some surprise in here. That does give some level of.
No, this is a drill. There's no surprise. This is practicing.
You will have plenty soon. Plenty of surprise.
Ready?
Ready.
We're hot. Bang.
Did anything come out?
I didn't hear anything hit.
No, it fired.
Oh, did?
Yeah, I keep catching most of the rejects.
All right. Ready? Ready? We're hot.
There's a flinch there.
There's definitely. Ready?
I feel like people keep moving.
Ready? Ready?
Yeah, people are starting to get creative a little bit.
He was just sitting duck in the corner.
They're hot.
That door jam really gets.
I got hit right in the finger, so.
Georgian's getting a beating.
Put all the guns on the counter or in a holster. That mask. The only thing you can get hurt doing this is to get an eye put out. Take your gun, set it on the counter. You guys doesn't in the holster. All right, now masks.
Yeah, if you take a look at that weapon light that got hit, you can take the eye out.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and don't worry. I mean, we all get adrenalized. You know, Don has been doing this for 15, 20 years.
Yes.
We do like a team drill, and he's pulling his mask off first, and other people are waving their guns around, going, "Yeah, and here it was doing this and that."
I get excited.
It's okay.
Yeah.
We all do.
It's very exciting.
It is. That's why we're here. So I was gonna kind of stop. We'll switch hands and go left-handed now. But I was gonna kind of explain for Jeff, because Jeff is jumping ahead into some of the other techniques, just to break it up. So what we're doing right now, Aaron does this drill with me on. Hold on to Aaron's mask for me. And so put your head around. I'm not gonna hit you. And keep your gun in your pocket. Don't pull the gun. So what we're doing is in martial arts or boxing or something like that. I'm going to go really slow. So all we're doing is we're going. There's a ton of stuff that I could do to Aaron to screw with him to hit him. But in this drill, we're actually cooperating with each other to a certain extent. So what I'm going to tell Aaron is I'm only going to throw jabs and I'm going to throw crosses. Jab, and I'm going to stay on a really fairly consistent timing. But this is the only move I'm going to do. And so I'm throwing my punches. He's throwing his blocks, and we're purposely, like I could get him going like this, and then just when he thinks that a cross is going to come, I could throw a hook. Or just when he thinks that cross, the jab is going to come, I could throw an uppercut. Or I could kick him in the inner thigh. But I'm telling him in this case, because we're doing this on a real simple level, I'm telling him, hey, I'm not going to do that to you. I'm not going to try to surprise you. I'm purposely letting him adapt to my timing. Now, later on, Aaron and I can say, okay, go ahead and start throwing back, Aaron. See how we can add all this other stuff in?
No, the little feigning thing to get him to move in one direction.
Exactly. So same with this. This drill that we've been doing is the real simple drill where the guy on the inside is basically promising you, like, I'm going to stay in the deep corner. I'm not going to do anything really surprising. I'm only going to take one shot at you, and I'm going to let you practice your pie slicing.
Got it.
Let's switch to the next room, and the guy on the outside is going to be left-handed. Where did I have my mask?
Yeah.
Thank you. So we'll go down this way. Jeff, were you just the shooter?
Either that or the victim.
I can go in.
Okay. Thank you.
Cool. Boy, I'm sure learning a lot standing here watching this.
It is good to see,
It's really amazing. It's really interesting to see what people are doing.
Ready? Ready! All map time. I'm hot. Went right over your head. Yeah, I could see it. The duck work thing. Yeah, went right over your head.
It's kind of cheating though, just because you know.
You know he's gonna be there, so you know that last pie slice.
Just changing the parameters a little bit.
Ready? Ready. We're hot. Okay.
You hit the door jam?
Of course, it's my favorite thing, is it?
I am ready.
We are hot.
Got me right on the inner rib.
Good job. Yeah.
Ready?
We are hot.
You got your knee pretty far out there, buddy.
It's the right.
Just a thought.
Your right foot is leaving. There you go.
It ricocheted hit me in the ass. Well, I intended that.
Is there? You're in.
Yeah, this is kind of being
Okay.
I'm not allowed to do anything creative.
Yeah, that's right. You've been reined in, brother.
There you go.
I'm ready, yes.
We're hot.
Like a turkey on Thanksgiving, yes.
Yeah, that's no real over there. Doors.
I can see your shadow.
Oh.
Mine died.
Well, you know, the one, you bring the helmet on.
Yeah, leave it on.
Watch that light. I can see that.
The shadow?
Yep, in the door jam.
That's excellent. That's what we're looking for. Okay. Now,
The light actually might have a little.
oh yeah, we will. You notice we did go flashlights and some of us didn't have lights.
There's a reason for that, huh?
Ready? Ready. We're hot. I think we both might have hit the edge. I'm not sure. I can't quit hitting that. I think I've gotten one hit tonight. Ready? Ready. Wow. Got me in the arm. Didn't hit me. I thought I got your hand. These new wheels are working awesome, by the way.
Yeah, I could tell. You're looking very dynamic, man.
Ready, Mike?
Ready?
We're hot.
Grazed right down my elbow.
Lucky so far tonight. Huh.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you ready?
Ready. We're hot.
It's a small little package.
Yeah, lead with the left hand. Yep, lead with the left.
That's good.
Now.
Tiny space.
You got it.
Leave it right, like you don't want to be crossed, right? So you, I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah, so you want to, just like that. So kind of crossing the back here.
You don't want the thumb behind the slide, you want it over here. What'll happen is the slide will come back, you take the skin right off the top of your thumb with the wheel going.
Sounds like the voice of experience.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. I don't even realize anymore that I put them on side. I don't even think about it.
Yeah, it's not really good. Not like something either.
You know, if that camera could show me where it is, that would be very helpful.
You figured out right off. It's not there. Yeah.
Practice your skills, brother.
Now try to push your left arm out straight, Jeff.
Actually, I think I struck.
Wow, I think nobody fired.
Good. All right. Keep your masks on. Time out. Come on out of here. Okay, weapons down. Go ahead and put the weapon down on the counter. And reload. I did that last one. Yeah, I had a...
Yeah, I need to reload too.
All right. Are all the weapons safely down? Aaron's down. Jeff's down. Okay. Masks. Very good. Good first experience. You can, much like a martial art, there's a lot of techniques to this, and you can see you don't have it yet.
No. Actually, one of the things I was thinking of, okay, take your shoe off, throw it against the door when the guy's coming over there, distract him, and then come out and shoot him.
Those are all the tricks.
That's advanced.
Yeah. We're even playing with light balls, where we take a ball with blinding light in it and drop it in the room. Kind of like a flashbang, but without the bang. And we're starting to play with a lot of toys, but only once you have basic gunfighting skills. Because otherwise what people do is they skip the skills for the toys. Filming going well?
Yeah, really good.
I brought charging cable. I don't know if it shows you with, that's probably doing it in a full screen mode right now.
Yes.
But if we start to lose battery, what you can do is every time we take a break, I'll give you the
Plug it in for a minute.
Just plug it in for a sec.
What I want to do is, do me a favor, man. Grab that little bracket there too. Yeah, you know what? If you would, I'll hold the camera. Take both hands and spread that apart. What would you think of using this? And then I can put it onto. Okay, don't worry about that. That's an accessory. Will that fit?
Might. Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Oops.
Or you want to hold this?
Here's this piece.
Oh, okay.
In case you need that.
I think that's okay.
I don't know if I like
Okay,
these mechanisms.
let's see if this will work. That would go
You want it on the front side of the camera or the back side?
I think it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
Now it's going to go onto here. And then I can just stabilize everything a little bit better that way.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah. I think I got that now.
fine.
I'll hold it stable, you can turn it.
It didn't sound so hot. No, these ones are never super strong though. Yeah, it sounded weak.
Okay.
All righty.
Cool.
I actually prefer the CO2 ones out of these, the one ones.
So I'm going to stand in the middle.
For 1 second.
Just filming the wall. Wall is yours.
Okay.
Are you on YouTube?
Yeah.
Watching it? Oh, that's funny.
Is it still sending?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I can
Cool.
see him messing with the setup right now. It should be set.
So my new wheels are working really good.
For some reason you're getting on the wall.
Yeah, it was. I was
Oh, okay.
making a few, yeah. What is it, probably about 20-second delay? Or
It's like
30?
a camera penis right now. I had to do that since we're filming. I'm not really sure, but my suspicion is we're not supposed to say fuck either.
But it's good that you have the R and the L on those things. I mean, it's like matches your shoes and keeps you all.
These are the prototypes. This was, I wasn't even really sure if the idea would work. And so, I've spent probably, like Aaron was saying, Aaron and I have been working on these for about 2 months. This is the 5th version, and even between left and right, they're different. Because when we put the left one together, I think you put the right one together first. No, started with the left one first, but you can see they're like sliding down and stuff. I think that's because I'm getting sweaty and the bands are stretching.
Are you thinking just the elastic tension is what supports them, or a servo eventually, hydraulic?
I don't really see a reason for servos. And in fact, I don't want to carry around like DARPA is working on stuff like this, and they're kind of in the servo idea. The problem is it's really heavy. If you look at the ones they show, like the recent Tom Cruise movie, they're big, heavy suits. And so my personal goal was to keep it really small and light. And so with these, I don't really see having, like I said, there's this artificial muscle people are making out of fishing line, but the response time for contraction and expansion seems kind of slow. So what I'm planning to do is always keep the bungees for the really fast response time, and use the artificial muscle, so that like right now, if we had a chair here, I wouldn't be able to sit down and pull my heels up, like in a comfortable position. I'd have to have my legs almost out straight. What I'd like to be able to do is use the artificial muscle to release the tension on the bungees so that I have total movement, total free movement. Then let's say I was in a dropped position, when my body, when I'm in kind of this position where knees are stretched and we can put sensors in the place to sense that with an Arduino, my pants are stretched around my butt, my back's in an angle like this, I'm not straight up and down. So basically the Arduino would say, hey, he must be trying to stand up, would tighten up the artificial muscle, put pressure on the bungees, and then I can come right out of it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my next plan. And like I was talking earlier on, later there's that same idea for synthetic muscle. They're doing with carbon nanofiber strands. They wind those. And with that, unlike the fishing line where you apply heat to get it to contract, the carbon nanofiber, you use electricity. You apply electrical charge, and that causes the contraction. Way more expensive, but that may allow a fast enough response time. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, that was kind of our one-man drill for the night. Every week we do usually a kind of a build-up with new people, where we continuously just add more moves to that. With the rest of the group and with a couple of people that aren't here, like Don's out, our cameraman is out with a back injury right now. He's on inactive reserve. And one of our other guys couldn't make it. But we had a group that's been training together for 6 or 8 months now, and we were working on dynamic entry and stuff like that. But now we're kind of like back to the basics. Now what we're going to do is 2-man. In this scenario, the guy on the inside ends up with less of a real chance. Because now what we're doing is we're putting two people up against one. And that's, generally with this kind of stuff, that's what we want to do. And kind of conceptually, when we run into someone else, when we encounter them in a building and we're searching, what we'd really like, and this is what you were talking about tricking people before?
Yeah.
What we'd really like is we encounter them, they're looking the other way at maybe something our partner caused or something we threw or a light or something like that. We always encounter people on the end of on the downrange end of our weapon, and we're ready to go and they're not. Like that's the perfect gunfight, is when he's looking the other way and has no idea you're there, and you come around the corner and you're right on him, and you know that your back is secure. That's the situation we always try to create. And so all the techniques we're working on generally are to create that situation.
Yeah. No, no one says this, but I really wish Alex were here right now.
Hey, Alex, come on over.
I hope he's on.
Alex may be one of our 3 viewers. Jeff says he wants to practice on
He
you.
was born with, like the target practice.
So now we'll go over into the other rooms, and we'll do the same kind of thing. We'll talk about how we do Q-Men. So just make sure you can set your masks down, keep all the guns either on the counter or holstered.
I'll be the next one.
Okay, so you can start out here. So now, if I have a buddy with me, what we've been doing, this room only has rooms where the door is on one inner wall, one right up butted against the wall, and so there's only one direction. In other rooms, you have rooms where you come in through the doorway, and there's 2 directions where somebody could be hiding back in those deep corners. And so then, pretty much whichever one you pick could be wrong.
Right.
So the nice thing about having somebody to work with is, let's say the inner wall here was gone, and so on this side, make sure that doesn't lock. So let's say this was the only door. Inner wall's gone, and there's a deep corner down there, and there's a deep corner there. Well, Dean and I can come up. I would do my standard pie slicing to work this corner. When Dean came up, he would actually pie slice that way. And so we'd be doing this type of thing right here. He's protecting me from that corner. I'm protecting him from everything over here. And then at a certain point, I come in, I check that, he checks his, that room's clear, we can move on.
What do you do about the risk about crossfire from?
You notice we timed it so that we're not going to shoot each other? So kind of watch, if we're doing this again, boom, boom. We're timing it so that, and if I got in a gunfight right here, he wouldn't duck his face right into the gunfire. He would basically just hang out and stay back out of the way.
But if there's a delay between the time that you moved and the time that he moves, you still become vulnerable from the side that he's not checking.
Okay, so let's say I had his, or we'll just have him do his move first.
Yes.
But he's going to make a really quick move to check his corner. Aaron, tell us if you could shoot him from in there doing his move.
Yes, I could. I mean, no, not quick enough. There's no way.
Yeah, and that should be the case. Which was kind of funny that you said yes in the first place, because if he's doing his move well, if let's say there's somebody in that corner, and I pop in and look like that, there shouldn't, the amount of time it takes somebody to respond to that should not be enough for them to actually pull the trigger. So that's the response to that. Now, just like our other stuff, this is one move out of a whole bunch. So if we go around and Dean and I we're kind of being really, remember the punching drill?
Yeah.
That's really easy to defeat. But if Dean, every door we go to, we treat it a little bit different, and we vary our timing and our height and how we do it, then it makes it really hard for somebody, even if they've seen us, if they've had a chance to look at us a little bit, it makes it really hard for them to predict what we're going to do. So this is this system, and it is a system, you know, it's not, it's what you see if you go to some shooting class, I won't say all, is you just see a bunch of moves that people have come up with. This is a system, and so it's just like a martial arts system, the moves were designed to work together.
But when you or he does that quick initial move, if you were to see somebody, you're not going to shoot.
No, there's a fairly good chance. If I don't know who I'm dealing with, I don't know if he's a shooter yet, I may take a look. Gun, I see a gun. Now, he can either come over and help me out like that, he can take and clear his corner first to make sure that we've got our backs to something solid before we try to deal with this. You know, there's a number of different responses that we can make to that.
Yeah, I'm just clarifying, the first move is like a reconnaissance thing. It's not really something where you're going to shoot somebody.
Every pie slicing move, when I lean out and take a look, that may be a recon move. If I've already identified that he's a shooter and I've chased him back, because remember, this is a drill. So just like martial arts, we do drills where we just repeat the same thing over and over to practice the move. When you spar, then it's up to you to figure out how you're going to apply the experience that you have. So drilling and sparring are, you know, like two different things. So you're right.
Yeah, my point is that if you go in there real quickly and shoot, you're there long enough for somebody on the other side to...
Well, and not only that, but if I just poked my head in and shot, I may shoot an unarmed person.
Right.
I need to get, basically, I want to know that there's a guy there, and I tell that to him, hey, I got a gun, I got a guy, whatever, you know, what I'm going to communicate. But the first time, I may not shoot, because I don't really know if he's a shooter. He might be one of my buddies, it might be my wife, you know, I'm clearing my house because I thought somebody broke in, and you know, I come around the corner, she heard something too, and I shoot her, and things like that have happened. So basically, the better you get at this kind of stuff, the more options you have when it's real. And again, you know, it kind of depends on who you are. We're all civilians. We're all geeky civilians. You know, like so you have us that just want to do this for fun and to learn self-defense stuff. Then you have like SWAT guys, where their job is to arrest people. Then you have Special Forces guys. Their job is either maybe to take them under control or to kill them. We don't, you know, and so it depends on what their mission specifically is. So let's see. So a couple of different moves. So one is we do our same pie slicing move. Dean and I are together. So he's going to lead. We're like this. Now, in this case, there's nothing here. All I've got is wall. So then what I might do is I might come around. I could either come in low because I'm really proud of my new wheels, or I could come around behind him and push him low and come in over the top of him. So now Aaron's sitting inside there with his gun, and he's going to decide, does he want to take both of us on with both of our weapons? Which he might, because he knows that these are just plastic pellets.
Take as many as I can with me.
Okay, so do our same thing where we'll line up. And first, do you want to go with Mike or? Put the mask on, please.
Yeah.
And as long as we're not shooting, you can leave that off because again they'll tend to start fogging.
So sit in there just so you can see a target. All right.
Okay.
I guess that's not really the point of this drill, but...
We figured the same, correct?
Yep, exactly. Now, what we generally want to do when we start doing team stuff is, and this is kind of an old joke we used to have, but we've seen pictures. We used to collect, one of the guys that I worked for collected pictures of it, where the front one or two guys, they're all ready to go, and there's a guy right behind him in a team of 12. He's standing there loading his magazine and checking out his weapon. The two front guys go, and everybody else is like, hanging out back there, you know, doing weapons checks. So what we generally do is, starting from the rearmost guy, you'll come up and just kind of squeeze me on the shoulder. You can come up with whatever's comfortable, but you basically...
So it's not even hard. It's really a distance, and so that you know where I am and I know where you are.
And when you squeeze, you're saying, I'm ready to go. my weapon's loaded, I've changed mags if I need to, I've done whatever I need, called the wife, you know,
Yeah.
whatever.
You made the will, that sort of thing.
Sorry, camera? Can't help it. Not too good.
Yeah, but you know you'd be calling your girlfriend before your wife anyway.
True. Getting a hold of the mistress, hey, you know, about to do an entry, whatever. So basically, you're telling me when you squeeze, I'm ready to go, I'm with you.
Okay.
So then I can decide, you know, okay, I'm ready to go. I'm going to do my moves, and then now you're going to first be looking that way. If you figure out, hey, there's nothing there, there's nothing to protect you from, I don't need to look that way, then you can come with me.
Right.
If there is, like we're pretending right now, you're gonna stop, you're gonna pie slice in and hold that, switch hands and switch feet. So you're looking that way off of this door jamb into a deep corner there.
Got it.
I'm working this one. I've got something really noisy, and I see Dean here. So we've got a shooter. He's got his hands up like he's holding a weapon, and you're coming in underneath me, so I'm coming right over the top, and we're doing a high-low. Now, when we do the high-low, had to.
No.
Now, go ahead and stand up. Just stand straight up. What we're doing?
You still look at it, man.
What we're doing is I was being a little bit nice, but basically I want to get my arms out over the top of you when we're doing a high-low, so that if I stand back here like this, and we're doing a high-low, and you stand up, you might stand up just as he makes a move. I try to shoot, and I shoot you in the back of the head.
Got it.
So what we want is, when you're doing the high-low, you're going to go into the low position.
Got it. But it seems like I need him in the groin if I'm down here. Look.
Hold on while I fix my wheels. Ooh, you little fucker.
He's watching.
The little fucker's watching? Yeah. Hey, little fucker!
If Robert's watching, I wonder if he'll let us in the office today. I just look crazy watching. I don't want to do anything.
Okay, so on a high-low, I'm going to come in right over the top of you, so if you decide to stand up, I'm not going to shoot you in the back of the head.
Got it.
I'll feel you coming up, and I know, okay, I don't want to do that. Okay, you go inside. Next two guys come down.
That it?
Yeah. See, I just went second, I'll go first. Perfect.
We killed the door.
We were noticing.
I think that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, I mean, until you get up there, you're probably...
This is fucking cool, man. Tactics TV.
It is, it's very cool.
Yeah, I think that we were planning on two...
Duck Dynasty's got nothing on this.
We wanted to
We
put
have-
this, that we're two...
Yeah,
Two deep corners.
pretend there's a deep corner.
Yeah, so two deep corners is what we want to. So, you know, I mean, we're kind of looking at that corner, maybe someone is going here, you know, but I mean, while you're going here, until you get to a certain point, that deep corner is going to be your race. And then, so you probably have to switch. Here we go. Here we go. Go for it. All right. Somebody saw it. All right. Switch.
Nice. All I saw was eye and gun.
All right. I'll, thank you, man. Good, really good, John. Yep. Sure.
Well, you want to pop that way first.
I would have shut your
Because you're going to
hand.
be looking down this wall, like this room continues.
When you say pop that way, what do you mean?
Is that the right way to?
Show them on your corner what it would look like.
Because you're just gonna lean out real quick.
In other words,
Yeah.
lean through it first.
Lean through and look real quick, and then I'm gonna follow you right afterwards.
And either one of you can go first. Once you see the other guy going, then you know, okay, I gotta hold on to this thing.
Ready to shoot each other.
Yeah, can't wait till we get the lights off. I don't know, we'll probably shut it off then, though. Yeah. The fun part, when the fun begins.
Shoot her in the corner. Anytime I say, just explain it.
There's the other one. There's the forehead.
Very cool.
Having fun?
It's pretty cool. You know, I'm learning a ton, though.
It's kind of cool to watch.
You're watching everybody, how everybody moves different, who does how they do what they do and everything.
Yeah.
You know, there's something interesting about how you move compared to Mike. I'll tell you when we get time.
Yeah. Let's see what I can see.
So just,
That was good. Probably a little longer in when you popped your head in.
It's gotta be real fast.
Pop. Yeah, because you popped your head in, I probably could have gotten a shot.
Got it.
But you know, it wasn't bad. It was just maybe a little bit long.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Good. All right.
Really? Yeah. In fact, once I get into that, I can get as low as you. I was watching when you and I were doing it together. I can get as low as you. And I'm taking up so much of my weight. It's just comfortable doing it.
Huh. Wow. Very nice.
Good.
Shoot each other?
Shoot each other.
Yes.
cool.
So,
Same exercise lights on?
same exercise lights on, and 2 against 1. So John and I were just talking about my leg braces here, and they're this version. I'm just holding them together with like plastic buckles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And everything's kind of loosening up and coming loose.
Oh.
But so you can see like this one, the struts aren't against my leg the way they're supposed to be. They're kind of sliding down the knee and stuff.
Mhm.
But even then, they still work good enough.
Mm.
But I was kind of watching John, who's a good foot shorter than me, and I can drop on these. I can drop into a position right here. I could practically sit here like this all day long.
Really?
And so what's really cool
That's so cool.
is, you know, I can be down here moving like this, and even that, I could move for a good amount of time and be really comfortable.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So conceptually, I've proven the concept. Now I just got to start making some production models that I
Yeah.
can use, that don't fall apart when I'm working.
A few refinements here and there. Oh, okay, let's see.
I mean, for real or just practice?
Well, I mean, for real.
Even when you're the guy on the inside of the room, you should be sitting there doing the exact same move as if you were working the room from the outside.
So I'm thinking that the guy from the outside, the second guy.
Let's come and show me. Like, show me the situation. And Don, why don't you film this?
One of your things looks like it's on that one.
Oh, yeah. Yep, it is. See how that? Yeah, I really need to sew all of these. Yeah. I have one of them where I sat and sewed them all up, but these, like I said, I had a pretty good suspicion that they would self-destruct before the training was over. But I was really just trying to prove the concept. Not too bad. Yeah, not at all. Yeah. Like I said, as far as conceptually, very happy with how they're going to work. And you can see, I don't know what the camera here, but one of them somewhere, forget which one. Oh, this side. See how they're all sewed up? So what I did is I took and put them in place, knotted them, wrapped them up all good, and then I sewed them in place. But the problem is right now, like even with these, I had pulled them kind of tight when I hooked them onto the belt crank, and then I realized I want to be able to straighten my legs.
Yeah.
So basically what I want is like this leg has, which is some slack, so I can go straight-legged, and you can see the belt crank system, when the belt crank goes to the rear, it's just like on an airplane. They're pulling the lines to the back, but there's enough slack that I can stand with my legs straight, no problem. When I bend to this far, now the belt crank is at a neutral position. I get to here, and right now it's just about to start carrying weight. I go any deeper, and now they're carrying weight. And so basically I designed it just like Dean and I both have ultralight airplanes that we've built, and the control systems have belt cranks just like this, which is where I learned how to do it. So that was the experiment, is to go, okay, it's conceptually it ought to work, but until I could actually come and try it out, I was like, I don't know if this is going to work or not. Okay, my mask. Okay, so now what we're going to do, again, try to stay to this genre of moves, but what we're going to do is a 2-on-1. And now, when you're doing the two-man moves, initially, take the corner as if it might be a room, we call it a T room, but a room with corners to each side. Once you determine that you're up against a hard wall there and there is no corner that way, then you can join your partner and do a high-low on the opposite corner where the guy really is.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
Deep corner, same old.
Yeah. Yep. Real basic, easy peasy. I'm sorry? Yeah, like that. Put the one finger on the trigger.
No, it isn't that.
Yeah. You would come in behind me. That's good catch. So Dean and I will do this. Go ahead and watch. Go stand by the cameraman, so you can get a good view. This is just hammering it up with my super wheels. Okay, we're hot. Bang. And he cut around right off the outer edge of my arm.
Does that make sense? And it's very arbitrary, just sort of like, okay, I get the idea. You know, it's a wall, and just pop over.
But it's practice too.
Yeah.
Just keep on doing it.
Yeah.
Ready? Great. We're hot.
So when you're doing it,
That gets
like air
on
in there. So at any moment you go, okay, yeah,
I saw your hand and I
Check the other one first before Don became visible to the other pressure.
I don't think Mike really defined the exercise so super well. I think it's
Ready?
Ready.
We're hot.
I think we're just kind of doing it like, let me ask Mike. I'm not sure if we want Mike to play the whole time as if, yeah, see, so Mike goes, okay, there's a wall right there. You know,
So he doesn't have to pop in first?
correct.
Bang.
Hey, Mike, just to be super clear on the exercise, as you're coming up behind Aaron, you're the number 2 guy. In this scenario, you're going, okay, there's a wall there. Turns out there's a wall, or you're assuming that there is no wall. You've got to check that corner?
Start out assuming there is no wall, then at a certain point we go, okay, there is wall, then I can help my partner.
And you're not popping in to check that there's a wall?
I can see it right from the outside, because it goes all the way down.
Okay, so for the number 2 guy, it's kind of his discretion as to like, okay, I get it, there's nothing there, there's
Right,
a wall.
right.
Maybe it's a couple feet in the door, oh, there's a wall there. Then you pop over and join your partner. That's the
Exactly.
point. So, okay.
We just don't, because this training facility only has these L-shaped rooms, we just don't want to get lazy and forget that there are rooms with double corners.
Okay.
You go, Jeff?
Oh.
Just Dan?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm next to be on.
You want to do first? Second.
John was in last.
Okay. All right.
So it's right foot first on this, yes?
Yes. For where you want to go.
Gotcha. And I'm going.
Helmet.
Ready?
Ready.
We're hot. Okay, I got a shooter. He's high.
Got me right in the elbow.
Mike, should that have been the standard?
Want to go first?
Sure.
Go for it. Or, Jeff, you got it?
We're hot.
There you go, Jeff. Okay.
Got me in the face. Throw the mask.
Nice, because I only saw about that much.
Okay, I'll go in. You ready, Aaron?
When goes, do not pop in around it.
Yeah, I'm excited. The second guy is looking down the hall. At some point, you can see it, and we're clear there, then join that corner.
But there's no popping in, it's just driving, popping in.
Small little bad guy here in this position. Taking up a very small amount of space, I mean. Very cool.
We're engaging, but if you want to pop in and not engage, that's perfectly acceptable, you know, I mean, if there's 2 of us and we know we have to get someone, we gotta engage, but say there were 5 guys and there were rifles, I pop in and be like, whoa, no, let me get out of here. But, we'll try. Try to pop.
Say, sure, let's get out of here. Don't like it. You know, that'd be one way to do it. Is that what you meant?
So when they're coming down that way,
So you don't want to stick your head in and try and curve around.
right,
Because you're really facing this way. I'm this way. I'm the one that can get down, but I want you behind me, so we got 2 people on me.
got it.
Make sense?
So as soon as you find out there's nothing, nobody's there,
If there's nothing there, then with both of us, we're gonna have 2 weapons on one, hopefully one guy. All right? But I can take the peek and go, whoa, I don't like what I see there, and get the hell out of here.
Let's, go ahead and put, because there's been a bunch of stuff that came up. Let's go ahead and put the guns, like put your gun on the counter, put them in the pocket, pull through the... Okay, hands free, masks. Yeah, getting a little warm.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to debrief a little bit, and then we're going to go into the next phase, which is we throw one guy out, and he can do whatever he wants, and the team will go after him, and then we'll just round robin that until everybody's been the bad guy. So Jeff, come on over and stand next to Dean, but go ahead and kind of debrief what you guys were talking about when you were getting ready to go.
Yeah, so, Jeff had a good point where he was asking, when we've been coming in, we've been engaging every time. What about just popping in and taking a look and not engaging? And that's certainly something that is a move, right?
Okay.
That Mike mentioned.
Is that something that you coordinate before you start the move, or you just do it?
No.
Part of what we're doing, this is a drill, not a scenario, right?
Right.
So, kind of like I was showing you with Aaron with the boxing stuff, when we're drilling, we want to throw as many punches as we can, and because what we're trying to do, and you actually just gave a really good description of it, which you could give again, in that what we're trying to do is get you so much repetition that this becomes subconscious as quick as possible. So then you got the moves down. Now, when you're doing it in like a scenario type thing, then you're not going to engage right away. You're going to clear this. And in a scenario, you would take a look and go, do I even have a shooter? Right now we're just assuming we know that guy's armed and we can shoot him. In real life, we can't do that.
And
So, no, go ahead. Finish your question, then I'll throw in I'll follow in with what Mike said.
I was just wondering, at what point does the second person come behind the first person as backup? Is it as soon as he sees that there's no threat on the other side?
If there's nothing down there, then we might as well have two guns online on what could be a threat. Right?
In fact, we're kind of faking it because there's a wall here, right?
Right.
So theoretically, you come down the hall, the minute you look, you go, there's a wall there, I can see it, I don't need to worry about that. You get behind him right away. What we're doing again is drilling so that you get the move down of like, there's a certain move to covering that corner. So we're asking you to do it first, then we're going, okay, I can release that and go help my buddy now. So we're actually practicing two things instead of just the one. But we're kind of faking it to make that work,
Got it.
So one of the things I was thinking, maybe we're not quite ready yet, and we've done it years ago, but we could have either a hostage, we probably don't have enough people for that, but we could have just someone standing in there with their hands like this. And if they get shot, we screwed up.
Yeah, like we've got a team of about 6 of us,
Then you
with
can't
Dunn and Dean and John and a guy named George, Aaron, who are actually getting good enough to handle that kind of thing. The problem is when you first start out, there's so much stuff going on that...
But you're talking about a fraction of a second.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why we don't throw that at you right now.
Right.
Because what we're trying to do is give you all the moves. It'd be like, same martial arts analogy that I was playing out with Aaron. It'd be like taking you in here and going, we're going to practice martial arts now. We're going to do hand-to-hand. So we're going to spar. You ready? Let's go. If we're going to do that, we're going to give you 3-4 months to learn the moves and to internalize them. And then after that, then we would start really slow with you. And I would tell you, okay, did you hold it? If I was, let's say we were working out in martial arts together, I would sit and teach you, or one of the guys would, for months. And we would just say, okay, here, when you're at home, practice this. Just get this motion down. Okay, now throw in some hooks, and now throw in some round kicks. And, so we would sit and we would have you practicing that. Then when we get together...
Just to get the motor skill.
Just
get the motor skill. Not necessarily how you're going to fight.
Not necessarily how we're going to fight. Then, after you had a chance to do that, now I'd say, okay, come up and work with me. Go nice and slow. I promise I won't hurt you. And we're going to do that together. So we learn how to flow together. And again, we're not trying to hit each other yet. I'm purposely, you notice when I move like that, I'm keeping a very consistent rhythm so that you can catch it. In reality, when we go to spar, I'm purposely screwing with my rhythm all the time. I'd come out and I'd be boom, boom, boom. And I'm purposely changing rhythm on you so that you have a hard time catching it.
Right.
Same with all this stuff. We're breaking it down into like really simple moves so that you can get the move, internalize it, learn the next one. Once you have some skills, then we'll go, now you can do the fun stuff. Let's start playing out some scenarios.
And in this scenario, the number 2 guy, at any time he goes through that decision process of like, okay, I've done my little part of the exercise of clearing that corner, it's really arbitrary for him to decide when that is.
Exactly.
But part of this exercise then is that the number 2 guy then hops in to help. So it's a 2-part exercise for the number 2 guy,
Yeah.
more than the number 1 guy.
And the only reason we're doing that is just so you get more training on those basic drills. We could just say, the minute you start coming down the hall, you can see there's a wall there. So just skip that, get with your partner, and just do the one main corner, the real corner.
Right.
You'd miss out, we just missed some training that you could have got. So that's why we're adding in that second piece.
Okay.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take one guy at a time. Jeff will give you the option of being like the last guy of the night or the second last, or not even being the bad guy. You can just run with the team, and you don't even have to be a bad guy.
Whatever you, I mean,
this is...
just don't say either you're part of the steamroller or part of the pavement. I feel
You're kind of being inundated in the fact that all these guys have been training. Now, John did this with us years ago, and he's just like really naturally athletic. He's been, done a bunch of martial arts. So when he jumped back into this, he jumped back in at a pretty high level. And it's real obvious you haven't shot much and that kind of stuff. So I don't want to throw you in over your head and just have you go, fuck this is no fun.
Well, whatever, you can start out and we can go from there.
So what we'll do is we'll start you out and we'll keep you the whole night in the team.
Okay.
And so what we're going to do now is we'll throw out one guy as a bad guy, maybe Aaron first since he's real comfortable. And usually the bad guys go and turn off all the lights, and we don't allow setting up like tripwires and stuff like that because somebody get hurt. But shut doors, open doors, turn off lights, stuff like that. Use lights, mess with lights. And what we've started doing in the last week is, hasn't worked yet. One night I just took a tack light and turned it on and staged it facing the door where the team was. So when they come out, they spent like 2 or 3 minutes just screwing around trying to figure out like, what's this light in my face?
Well, and you were there.
And then I would pop back and shoot from there every once in a while, so then they really were like, what's going on? And we're starting to play with a bunch of toys. One of the things that I started looking at was little glow balls or really bright balls that we could like roll into a room to backlight anybody that's in there. And John and I were doing some research the other day and found out that they actually make such a thing.
That's
so
so
I'm
cool.
gonna see if I can order some and get a hold of some. And we're just starting to get a group of guys that their basic skills, their shooting skills are good enough that now we can go like, okay, now what's the cool technology? Because we're all geeks. I mean, Jeff's a programmer, I'm a programmer, Dean is, John is. So, and then we got a couple other guys that aren't here tonight, and they're programmers. So, we got to play with toys, right?
And glow balls just sound like fun.
And if they vibrate, you can have the lighter.
There you go.
Mental note,
I have no idea what they're talking about.
A mental note, don't like the glow balls.
Don't like the glow balls. Oh, nice. You don't want to borrow anybody else's glow balls. That's yeah.
So, last time we'd closed this door and it's because someone can see in there? Was that why we weren't?
I think I'd accidentally closed.
I thought we were keeping
We were,
this room.
I think we're using it again. It was, I think it just got locked up, man. I think it was,
Yeah, we can use it.
You know what, though? The far room that got locked up for a long time, let's leave that open. Because I'm not sure about the status on that yet, but I should probably go check it.
That's the mailroom thing?
Yeah. Let me go check that
This
out.
one is yours.
Okay, thank you, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we could try them all, like, someone stay inside and we'll make sure.
Yeah.
If I go missing, it's hard to tell.
They lock automatically.
No, we'll keep Jeff with us. So he'll be okay.
So videos, did it still go?
It'd be nice if like, don't shut it all down. Like, you can dim them down. Okay, yeah. Just enough so that we do get some video that would be cool. I don't know how many people are actually watching, but it sounded like there was like, there's 4 people watching now. So, you know, if we turn all the lights down, that camera isn't, doesn't have night vision as far as I know, so.
Well, you could, it'll turn the flash on, but then you're...
Kind of.
Then you're looking at
You
everybody.
come out, it's all dark, you're ready to go, flash, flash goes out.
I'm just lit up. Oh, hey,
Well, which project, yeah.
and this is backlighting a person.
Has Craig ever come on one of these?
No, I've invited him. He seems like he's really into MMA, and he even mentioned that he'd like to come, but probably just not as into shooting, so maybe not as confident about it or something.
No, just tell him I'm here, and then...
Then you think you win?
The yokai. Because then he lays in here. Actually, he and I got actually getting along really well right now. He's not even desperate, so I... Is Blake still?
I'm sorry?
Is Blake still at the line?
He is, yeah, he just went to Connectathon, so
Have you gotten it yet?
programming.
Ricochets?
Connect or Kinect?
A lot of ricochets?
Corner I'm sitting in?
No, not
Seems
the,
like
like
a
training,
range.
no, it's a different healthcare thing where you have to run tests and show the past various things, and I don't know that much about it.
I'll tell you what, I've
But they
learned
did
so
well.
much by being in that position, seeing how everybody
Seeing a
does
lot,
what they
yeah.
do and comparing what each other's doing.
Are you doing any programming now or administration?
Very minimal programming, very little. I
You
just
work
took
with
a,
it?
As you can tell, we're all geeks here.
I don't know how much of it I'll use.
Because you were kind of on the...
Everybody
What do you
loaded?
like, what do you like most?
Yeah, it was. It was slow.
You're good? You guys loaded?
It's a natural progression, you know, so I'm not happy. But
That's cool.
anyway, yeah, we're good.
Good to go?
Let's do this.
Good to go?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Let's do that.
All right, let's start, maybe there. Easy peasy. So now what we're going to do, this is like our third thing, our third phase of the night. What we always do at the end is kind of sparring, you know, and we kind of open it up so that we're not working on specific drilling things. We take whatever team we have, we take one guy, throw him out in here, and I'm sure cameraman will walk around and look at what he's looking at. And then the team will stage in here, we'll come out, hunt him down, get him, then we'll reload, put the next guy out, we'll come and hunt him. Once we've got everybody, then we'll finish for the night. Team off in this room.
That's you.
You're the target.
You're part of the team, yeah. Yep, I'm getting...
I think I'm just a roving guy. I'll probably get shot the most. I think cameraman should have a glow stick next time or something. Don't shoot me.
Big orange vest.
Yeah, safety vest.
Okay, yeah, good, gun safe. Okay, so what we normally do is, when we leave here, we're going to try to get stuff cleared so that we can put our back to something nice and solid and not be wondering if while we're looking that way, he's behind us. So we start out in a room where, you know, our back's to the front. It would be like you know, some kind of entry team doing an entry into here. And theoretically, they'd probably have somebody outside controlling the outside to make sure nobody can come in after we've come in. And then first thing we're going to do when we leave here is we're going to start looking around, decide what we want to take down first. But what we want to do is try to get it so that either like maybe this whole hallway here to the right, we're going to get all those rooms cleared down, or the big room that's right behind the camera there, get that cleared down so that we can safely turn our backs to it and start a push where all of our weapons are faced out and we can get all of our firepower kind of directed in one direction, rather than have to wonder like every 2 seconds if there's somebody behind us. So normally what we do when we leave a room like this is we'll get a couple of sets of high-low, and in this room, when we leave here, there's a hallway that goes down that way, and there's also a room that's going in that way. So what we'll do is we'll get kind of configured so that there's 2 people looking down the hall and pie slicing off the door, and then there's 2 people looking into that other room, pie slicing off the other edge of the door. And we'll take a look, we'll start cracking the door, take a little look, see if he's going to shoot us right away the minute the door cracks open. If it looks okay, we'll open it up, and then we'll start talking to each other. What do we see? Do we have any movement, any shooting, anything like that? And then we'll figure out which way we want to go.
And we're going lights out already? To start, or no?
It's kind of up to him.
Oh.
Whatever, what we had kind of decided between Aaron and I is that he would leave at least some lights on so that the camera can see, because that camera, I don't think it's set up for night vision right now.
Does he have a mobile phone?
You want to call him and make it ring? Hey,
Hey,
Aaron, we're coming to get you.
Now we know you are. Let me tell you, that's a storm, that's what they did. They called the Rocky commanders and told them, we know exactly
We're
where
coming
you
to
are.
get you.
All right.
Okay, you want to, let me see. Yep. Because I'm wearing my new wheels, I get to do a low going that way.
Okay, go for it.
So I'm going to come in here, and I still got to learn how to get my balance when I'm using these, because I'm not used to kneeling anymore.
Got the legs? I'll do the low going this way. You want to be over me, Jeff? And, all right, ready?
I got him in the way back, got him in the back. He was in the back hallway, he's looking right at us, I'm looking right down his barrel, and I'm suppressing him. You're firing nothing, John, or whoever's behind me. Okay.
I was afraid of hitting you.
Don't worry about it.
Just stick his gun over the top of his head. You, is he
Got him. Yeah, he's on me. I got him.
Still there?
Suppressed. Nope, he moved back.
All right, so he's probably coming around my way. Are you guys in a position where you can take the first
see him
shot?
now,
So you got him again?
He moved.
All right. I'm looking for him to pop up out of the back hallway. Am I free to go?
Watch your shadow, Aaron.
You got him suppressed.
Okay.
You turn out some of those lights, boy.
Is he
You don't
still
want to
popping
hit
up?
He's not anymore.
All right.
He's back.
John, I'm going to stand. Okay, he's on me. Got him on me. He's, well, I thought I heard him. Yeah, I see his shadow moving around. He's still on my gun.
Hey, guys, I'm going to pop right out. I'm going to pop out. Aaron, I'm coming out.
Cameraman coming out.
Cameraman.
Okay, everybody.
John? Yeah. With me. Oh, my. 3, 2, 1.
I'm covering this way.
I'm in this hall, Aaron.
And far down area.
Sorry, dude. Fuck, I'm gonna get shot bad. This is not a time. Coming around, sorry.
Boy, that cameraman.
John,
Yeah.
don't assume that you can safely back into
In the mailroom.
Oh.
In the mailroom. He's down low. He's down low. He pulled back.
Okay, Dean,
Yep.
can you start pushing out?
Yep. Got him.
You down?
Yeah, I'm down.
Time out.
I had to go for it.
Oh, no, yeah, I mean,
All right, all guns down. Jeff, mask. Put your gun on the counter. John's good. Real good. Hands. Okay. Masks. Good job.
Yeah, that was good. I kept the team down for quite a while, and
I tried to throw off the whole, because everybody goes here and then back and then here and then back, so I went, popped here and then, oh, he's going to come back around to the other side. I was like, God, this thing.
Those lights
We're
were
holding
giving
it.
your shadow away when you were moving across that.
Yeah, I heard you kept saying it, and I was like, whatever, I'm
Yeah.
they're not there, and
So what we did is, right behind the camera, John and I took that room and over to the, I guess, left of the camera. He would pop out in the corner back there, if you want to point the camera around and show right on that corner. And so basically I was pieing off this wall and that wall and just basically waiting.
From there.
From right about where you are. Actually.
Oh, okay.
So I was there, and then John took the first room, but then he came back to protect me. And so then I asked Dean to start pushing his way out with Jeff. So then go ahead and take it away where...
I felt uncomfortable standing behind you with that gun above you because I always say, if you stand up, you're going to get in the line of fire.
And remember we were teaching you before, and this is, we know you don't have the skills, which is why we're only using airsoft instead of real bullets. We get to that eventually. Yeah.
I mean, Dean was one of the few people I really love and admire. I don't want to shoot him.
When you're in over the top of him, and cameraman, you can step up. Dean, if you would take a knee.
Yep.
What you want to do is get in right over the top of him like this. Now, if he stands up, I'm not going to shoot him.
Right.
If I'm back here, and he's down below, and he stands up, now he's right in my line of fire.
Yeah, I felt like I couldn't. No, you said that before, but I felt like I couldn't even participate because of that.
Yeah,
Get close. That's fine. You need to be right up on someone.
like I said, all this stuff is brand new to you. I did this with some ex-SEAL team guys for like 7 years. And Dean spent... Did we ever figure out how long?
I don't know if we did.
3 or 4 years. I got out of this kind of training. I used to do this like part-time-ish for a living. I was a bounty hunter and a private investigator at the time. So got out of that, got into programming for money. And after a few years, I really missed this stuff. So started asking a few of my friends, got Dean and another guy named Mark, and we recruited about 10 people. And we used to train every Wednesday in one of the guys' backyard. And so Dean got pretty good at it. And but then had his son, and so we kind of stopped for 6, 7, 8 years. And just 6 or 8 months ago, Don came up with the building, and we started doing this again. So we'll probably, as long as we can do it. John actually has a potential place we can train as well. So seems like we'll be able to keep it going for a while. What did you see?
Very cool.
What did you see?
Yeah, I was worried about you coming out there because I thought 3 or 4 people were going to shoot.
I was amazingly impressed that I didn't even get shot once.
Well, and actually, we normally do, like Dean was saying, back when we were doing this before, we had a group that was good enough that we used to throw in hostages and non-shooters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so it's actually good because now we have to figure out the difference between the bad guy and the cameraman.
Yeah, the thing is, if yourself, cameraman is moving, and then the next thing you know, Aaron's going to say, cameraman, and
Cameraman.
come out in the middle and start shooting everybody.
You gotta be firm for that. And Don's our chiropractor, so we try not to hurt him.
The injured chiropractor.
I know. I almost shot him. He's
close. That was great.
Yeah, when you popped out there too, I was... Luckily I caught it.
Who's next?
John?
I'll go, yeah.
All right, so team, let's go in this room. So for the camera, what we do is it's hard enough. I mean, we're all memorizing this training space, but just to kind of mix it up, what we do is we try to put the team in a different room every single time so that we have less memorization and more learning to deal with shapes.
Want to do some guerrilla style filming?
And follow you around?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to come out here with you. I think I'll do that this time. Or 50-50. I'll let you know though when I'm coming, okay?
Okay. Okay, yeah.
Because I want to get how they set up and stuff. But I'll let you know when I'm coming out.
So you're thinking with your subconscious or you're thinking with your conscious mind. You want to think quickly, it's got to be with the subconscious mind.
Mm-hmm. And that's what the drilling that we do in the beginning is all about, is to learn the moves so that you're not thinking about them when you're doing them. And I mean, I understand you still are, but if you like this and you keep coming back, within a month or two, the move that we did today, you'll have down, and then you'll start building.
Now, with a neuroscan, they can see when someone learns a musical instrument. one part of their brain might suck. But after they've learned it, it's natural. It's a different
And then there's like, there's this theory called chunk theory, which is that you can take subconscious moves and like 4 or 5 of them and chunk them into one, and then your mind thinks of that as one move. And then, so then you could build those together. And I have a little like online JavaScript book that I wrote on this stuff, and then it describes exactly that, how, you notice like Dean and I and Don, Aaron getting better and better, but still building them. But you'll see Dean doing some super complex stuff, and not even thinking about it. He just does it because he's had a chance to chunk all the basic skills. Sue, my nice low position again. Here you go. I'm so proud. So I'm going to take a look across. Okay. We need another guy that way looking down. And then somebody get ready, once I open the door, if you're going to be there. Yep. Once it's safe, you can peel around and look that way. Okay.
You want to go down?
Everybody where they want to be?
I'm with Mike. If you want to.
Okay.
Move over with Aaron. Usually we have 2 people.
There you go. And feel the lights. Okay. And I'm going to crack. Okay, I've got some sound, somebody shooting at us, not sure from where. Don't know where it's coming from, but I hear it. Okay, somebody take that corner. I got far, and Dean, can you peek around to our left?
I've got the corner that we should turn that light on.
There's a light shining at us. I think it's fixed.
Is that our lights or his?
There's light shining at us. That's his light. I think it's fixed.
Okay.
But I can't tell for sure.
All right. Can you peel around to the left and look? Oh, wait a minute.
There's a light right
he's right on. He's on my gun. Got him in the back twice.
Yeah.
keep going, John.
Keep going.
All right. Okay. So I've got long straight on there.
Still a light on us. That's fixed.
Okay. Dean, can you
Cameraman coming out. Cameraman coming out.
Dean, and take the room to the left. The room we staged in last time. Okay? Yep.
Roving cameraman.
Got the front room's clear? Yep, front room is clear. All right, the room beside us.
Roving cameraman.
Cameraman on my gun. Cameraman on my gun. You guys ready?
Yep, we're ready. We got it held.
I can see you in the back room. Aaron? I can hear it. I'm going to this wall right here.
You gonna hold it?
You light your light? Light straight down.
Light? Yeah. If you do light it up.
Got him in the back room. Got him in the far back room, deep corner. Everybody move to me.
Clear rooms, all right.
Clear rooms on our way to him. Don't turn our backs to anything. Team move to me. Team move to me. Got him again. All right, talk to me, guys. Dean? In the back room.
Get him pinned down.
Okay. Aaron, start clearing our way behind us.
He's against the back wall. He's in the far corner. Right now in the middle of the room. Keep it lit up.
One is clear.
Okay. I've got a shadow build for you. You can move to the next room up on the right. Just stay against the right side of the
Is
wall.
there a point to move closer to that?
Nope. Just stay right here. We know exactly where he is.
Okay, Aaron.
If he sticks his head on, I do that.
Take the next room, but stay to the wall to the right. You're good. You're clear to go.
Okay, keep the light on. Stay back. Stay where you are, Jeff.
Okay. There you go, switch sides.
Hold them. Hold them. I gotta switch mags. Hold them.
Keep that lit.
He just jumped back further away.
Into a different room?
No, he's still in the back room, on the far wall.
All right, time out. We got him. All right.
Cool.
Matt comes down. Jeff, Matt, please. Yep. Got it clear? Clear. Okay. Now go.
Let's get warm on that one.
Yeah, I might be out of gas.
Yeah, you weren't shooting anything.
Well, I think it is. I just don't think well, I don't have a problem with that.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess I'm not.
Oh, were they stuck though? Yeah. See, there was your problem. It wasn't that you weren't shooting gas. You were just, this will get stuck down here and you gotta cover it until it pushes them all the way up.
Should we have been like south side, north side, back? How do you tell everybody else where where the other guy is, where he is if you see him jumping?
Back mailroom, on me.
So I saw him jumping back and forth across that light a couple of times. So you can tell whether he was against one wall or against the other wall, and you've got to make that clear to whatever your group.
Well, when he's moving fast, it's almost like you can say that he's kind of out in that area. But if you give too much detail, he won't be there anymore, and it can actually screw up your own people. But you could hear me, like I was talking to you guys, and I kept asking where you were because I didn't know if you could see me. But I kept saying, he's on my gun. I'm pinning him in the room. I'm holding him there.
No, that's what Dean was having me and work with him on. You were just saying keep him pinned.
Yep. Keep him pinned, hold the light, and because we knew where he was, we could just keep. Anytime he popped out, boom, boom, boom. We were putting rounds.
So more or less pointing the light in that direction was what was signaling to where you guys where he was.
Right.
And he had to get him the light to get out.
I didn't know which of you it was, but I could see your light crossing the other way. So I knew you guys were over here somewhere lighting that way, and presumably you could see my lighting down there.
Yeah.
Because my light's a different color than all the rest of yours.
Mm-hmm.
And so we kind of knew, and so what I was doing, I was at the end of the hall, holding him in the room. Like anytime, in fact, I shot him a couple of times, because anytime he'd lean out a little bit, I would shoot him. So that encouraged him to stay back. And that was me.
I shot at you also, but I think I missed every time. So,
but one of the things we're really working on is we have a tendency to go straight after our bad guy and turn our backs to a bunch of empty rooms. And you can't really know you're dealing with one person in reality. So we're trying to discipline ourselves. And this is why I called Aaron up. I said, I'm holding him in the room, and I'm creating a shadow. And we have a special term that we use that we'll teach you called shadow. And that is, if I'm pie slicing off of this wall, and you turn the camera a little bit so that you can see that. So I'm pie slicing off of this wall, and maybe John is over there, and he's pie slicing through
Why don't you use the light to demonstrate?
Let me try and see. So this wall right here, I know that this area is free over here, and maybe John knows that the area behind him is free, and he's pie slicing that way. So we had a guy standing right with his back to the door. Basically, I'm pie slicing this way, John's pie slicing that way. What we've done is we've created a shadow where Dean right now is in the line of fire. I can't protect him out here, but if he goes behind me, basically what I'm doing is by pie slicing and by not being willing to give much, Dean can move around in here freely.
It's a safe place. A safe shadow.
But John is doing just the opposite from the other side.
well, you had pinned in the room. I should have just turned around to cover your back, or cover both of our backs.
If we cleared all this. If you hadn't cleared it, yes. And that's exactly what I was having Aaron do. I was counting on Aaron to protect my back, and so I came out of the room and I told him I'm going to that wall. Aaron immediately turned and started clearing around the rooms behind me and protecting my back. And then we got to a point, if the cameraman would come around here, we got to a point where John, come down and so you can look down the hall.
Okay.
Stay right Like turn and look that way. So basically, John was in that room, and I'm standing here, right here. And if you would now go down to the room there, where John is. So what I did is, because I'm sitting here with my gun, he couldn't stand in the doorway like you are, so I basically forced him that way. So now, if you look at this line right up to the door down here, and you can poke out a little bit, Don. Just poke out a bit. So right on this line here that I'm drawing with my light, I can control this line, and I can make sure that if you pop out there, I'm going to shoot you.
Right.
So now I was calling Aaron up, and I said, Aaron, I can control this line, and if you try to step out any farther, every time he would step out, I would shoot him. And then so I said, Aaron, I'm controlling the line. As long as you stay against the right wall, you can go up and take the next door. So Aaron goes up, takes the next door, clears that down. I'm still holding him in there. Then Aaron pops his head back out when he's clear, and I said, okay, now you can take the next room. So he comes out. I'm still controlling the line so that John can't pop out there and shoot him.
Yeah, so...
He takes the next room. Then as soon as Aaron's ready, now Aaron pops out and looks down at that room. Now we've got everything cleared behind us. Now Aaron's controlling, and I basically came up like this, came up right behind him, and then we just started moving on the room, and that was when John had pretty much just had to give up because Dean and Jeff were coming across this other angle. So basically, we took all his space away.
The point of it, and another way to say it too, is that from in here, from this position, I can see that, of course I can see that light, so I have to stay hidden in here so that I don't see that light. So if I see that light, that means you got me.
Exactly, and that's what he was doing. He tried to poke out, and you probably hear him on the video, but every time he'd poke his head out or a shoulder or something, I'd shoot him, and he'd go, oh!
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, don't grab it now.
I was encouraging him to stay back so that it was safe for Aaron to move.
We need to plug this camera in.
Okay. I'll give you the power cord.
At least give it a couple minutes while we recharge and stuff, or reload our weapons. Here's...
Heck yeah. Yeah. Got me right there. With glove on? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, without a glove on, you'll have a big old chest out. Yeah, you do it. Yeah.
And then just plug it in wherever you want.
Okay. Yeah, I've got a good charger.
Right here. It's so dry right now, too. Yeah. As soon as it hit me.
Cool.
So keep using it for a while. Live from San Diego.
I'll be seeing that. Yeah. I'll be asking if you have noodles.
I think John did so well, I should do it again. Right?
Who's back there? I'll go in.
And then I'll go last, and then we'll finish up.
Experts, sir. Are we good on time? Bringing on the
I think we're early, actually.
9:40, so.
Yeah, so we're perfect.
They're good as far as.
I noticed the other night we ran until like 11, and I keep going. I'm so adrenalized I don't even notice.
That was a lot of fun last time. That's really getting fun. All right.
So cameraman, you've got looks like about 20 feet to roam.
Okay. Well, hopefully it'll let's see, connect your phone to a charger, continue out. Ooh, battery is low, but should be working. Yeah, hold that for a minute. Oh. Okay, something might have been loose there. Okay, green light is green, I believe. Yeah.
Okay.
It's working. Do you see a little charge?
It's in full screen mode, so it won't show anything right now.
Okay.
Other than that, if it's not charging, it'll probably pop up the message and say, "Charge me."
Yeah. Hold down. Okay.
Yeah, actually, I think be careful.
Oh, it's tricky to load.
Oh, you know what? Why don't you put it in partial screen mode? Because I don't need, we don't have that on this.
Heck of a lot more time.
Yeah, this is it's called Big V Encoder, and what it does is I found an article on Google that shows you how to set up a phone to stream to YouTube.
So cool.
But it doesn't have a Windows mode. It's always full screen.
Got it.
But we'll have to ask our viewers. I don't even know if there's a way to find out who they are. Hey, viewers! If you're still watching, John's got you facing the ceiling right now. You're looking at the ceiling.
Views in the sky.
If you're watching, if anybody's watching, just type a little text message on the. I think there's like a comments section on the view page. Just type something if you're willing to, and tell us who you are, so we can ask you what kind of quality we got.
Will this phone be able to, is there a way we can use infrared at some point and do this?
I think my phone has night vision mode.
God, that's cool.
I think it does. I've used it before. But I don't know that the camera for this encoder has, the software has the ability to put it in that mode.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
You could run the light on it though. If all the lights are down, you could run the light
Oh.
on the camera.
The thing is, it defeats the purpose of turning the lights down. What he's wondering is, like, can we go full dark and still, film?
Yeah. Well,
I'm sure that.
Sometimes what you might want to think about doing, there are some of those night cameras,
Yeah.
like security cameras, and they can
Yeah.
so you don't need to have somebody
Okay.
walking around with it, no?
The only problem with the one I have at home is I don't have the ability to install the encoder that allows us to stream to. But if we can figure it out, one of our plans is for our viewing audience is to eventually wire up a training facility where we put a camera in every room and put a couple of body cams on one or more of us, and then let the users click which camera angle they want to look at.
Go into deer hunter mode.
Deer hunter mode. So, that's when we start competing with Duck Dynasty. But right now, this is like our first attempt. We only spent an hour or two playing with it to figure it out. But now that we know it kind of works, now we can get more and more sophisticated.
This has probably gone viral by the time we get back. We're going to have like 1 million followers and stuff.
I don't think so. I got my phone with that. Maybe you are.
Oh yeah, there's my water.
I guess this is sort of like Airsoft Dynasty in a way, isn't it?
Jeff Dynasty.
Jeff Dynasty.
Jeff is our new guy. Jeff and I have known each other for probably 10 years now. We've worked at 2 or 3 different places, and he's been kind of expressed an interest in this kind of stuff for a while. So finally tonight we had one of our flakes cancel.
Not mentioning any names.
Not to mention any names, Jonathan.
I'm not saying he's a flake though.
So I started texting around to my daughter and her friends and a bunch of other friends, and everybody else had plans because Jonathan canceled at the last minute.
Which is cool. It's understandable.
Really cool? Not. So anyway, I texted Jeff and I said, dude, I really need you, otherwise we gotta cancel, and we had plans to stream and everything. So Jeff was really cool about coming out.
Thank you, Jeff.
Recording us drinking would have been nearly as entertaining.
I'll take you to the club, it's gonna be awesome, trust me.
That is what he put on.
That's good.
That could be wrong.
All right, let's take the team. We'll start in the end corner here.
All right. Keep your masks.
Is that mine?
Maybe. I just grabbed it from right there. Try that out. I don't know. Okay. That's all right. I guess I'll take this one. 1 minute, please. Please stand by. All right, that seems right. Yeah. friendly cameraman.
Alright.
Okay.
Oh, here comes that. Back when I was with the Combative Councils guys, we had this really cool 5-story building downtown. You got your gun? Yeah, no. Anyway, we had this really cool 5-story building. It was like a quarter of a block. And I had a couple of friends that I met in the jiu-jitsu class that were ex-Army Special Forces guys. And so they came in, and I think it was against a SEAL team. I can't remember. But against the SEAL team platoon. And they took the artificial ceiling and moved some of the tiles out of the way and crawled up in there and found something to hang from. And then the problem was that they completely were out of the scenario. Like, they hid, no problem. Team comes through, and the guys told me afterwards they're like afraid to do anything because they know the minute they move, the whole team's going to light up the ceiling. So the team moves on. They just stayed right there. Never got found, but they never did anything either. So, you know, it's like climbing a tree. You're great until somebody finds you, and then you're screwed.
Right. Or when you're in a room in the back corner and you can't move.
That's just inevitable. Though. In that scenario, every time you're always going to get pushed back into the.
Ooh, that was a flashlight out there. Don't have your light?
Yeah.
So one of two things. You can either go get it now, just call time out when you open the door, or we'll fight our way out and you can grab it when you go by.
Yeah.
What do you call time out?
Time out, your eyes there. Shit, I've got a spare in my rear pocket. I could have gave it to him.
I'm in real quickly and then shoot him. So, how did your concept session go? I'm sorry? Where's he at?
That was a reline, right?
There was a flashlight across the hall. Pointed in our direction.
Good work.
But it was probably not him, so, you know, you can tell the decoy on.
All right. So, real similar thing here. You know, we know when we leave this room. Now it's kind of tough because if we go in any direction, we've got our backs to other stuff. So we either have to clear every room that way, or we have to clear that way. But don't just assume that you can turn your back to anything right now.
Yeah, but somebody's got to be, as you're moving, one team is moving in one direction, somebody else has to be on the back.
And what we want to do is probably the bathroom right next to us, and you know the rooms all the way down into that front room. Probably want to clear here those first, so we can turn our back to them, and then start to push the other way. But don't get that in your mind as a set thing, because we're going to have to respond to what we see out there.
So low ceiling is pretty light.
Okay, so again, I get the low position, so I can finally do it. I've got top. You over the top of me? Yep. Okay. Lights are going out. Jeff, you might want to take a knee as well, or get in over the top of John. Your choice. John, you might want to move in right over the top of him, so you don't, in case he stands up, because the lights are going to go out. Make sure your gun is over his head, so that if he stands up and pushes your hands up. So move, get right over the top of him.
Why do I think it would have been a better idea about running?
It often helps to have the taller guy back, but okay. All right, lights are going down. Got my hand on the door. Don't shoot my hand. Cracking.
There's a flashlight on the floor down at the end of the hall, and it looks like it's just above the floor, and it's probably propped up by the hand.
Don't talk too much. Give us concise, but you're doing good. Okay, the very front room to the right is darkened. The front room right in front of me is darkened. Don't see anybody yet. Cracking a little bit more. Lighting. There you go, it's coming open. Front entry room looks good. It's not me. Okay, I need to get back a little bit. He was right on me, and I took a shot right down my left arm. Just
Let's make sure you're looking down that wall.
glancing blow. There, he's shooting at you.
Yeah, he's right in the face. Thank you, Dean.
All right, anybody got him?
No.
Where is he? Jump. Okay, on my gun. On my gun. On my gun. He came out low and then high. Very well. On you guys. On you guys. Give him. Hey, John, can you put any rounds on him?
No, I can't see that flashlight.
There you go. Okay, Jeff, is your light out? Aaron, yes. Reach down into my right rear pocket, grab my light, hand it to Jeff. It's on me. Right rear. On me.
Oh, no, he's good. There's no.
Okay, I thought his light went off.
I'm gonna scoot right out, guys. Roving cameraman. Roving cameraman. Ouch. That hurt. Oh.
You got him? Well, what if he's got up there? Aaron.
Aaron!
Yes.
Come to me.
He's already got on you. I don't want you to cut me first in the face and then the other body.
I made the charge. I thought I snuck up into that room without anyone seeing me.
I didn't know where you were. Yeah.
Thumbs down.
Guns down. Yep. Gotta be really careful pointing that gun around when the masks are off.
John?
Yes?
That was a good move, Dean, putting that light up there.
You were
not, the brightness over there at that distance is much brighter than this light over there. So the time that I could focus it above his light, to see him if he was there, it seemed like it was like too late. He had the advantage.
Remember I told you we're starting to play with that?
The one thing I could do is I would sit where the light was, and someone was in that hall, just, there was that sliver, but I could just sit there, and when
That was
pop out,
That was me, thank you.
You should have returned rounds on me. That would have made me back up.
The idea occurred after a while.
And every time I saw him, like, pop. Okay, I'll wait. Pop.
It was really funny because you were putting rounds, like glancing blows all over me. Like I felt one touch my mask, I felt a couple of them go up this arm, a couple went off my ribs, but nothing that slammed. Everything was just going right,
Maybe it's not.
One of you went straight in it would have hit me in the eye with the mask, and when you charged, I got nailed beyond the mask. No, you were good on the But you're right, I should have shot earlier when
Yeah, keep the pressure on me, because then I'm going to have to back off.
I gotta call you out though, Dean. You hosed the cameraman. I was like, God damn. I guess I was a little too quiet. I thought he'll hear me, but it's like, boom, 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 I was taking it.
He's the bad guy.
He doesn't care.
Yeah, no, definitely. When I popped it up, then I said, like...
So, collateral damage, I guess, right?
It's like a bad guy that breaks into your house to shoot you and gets your wife. Bummer, man.
Did you get the system? No, because I did shoot it right there.
Boy, your gun is hot, too.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah, when this thing's loaded up well, it's pretty hot.
It's stank.
10 years old. 10 years ago when we were doing this.
And yeah, it's still working.
So I got yours fired up. The Glock, Mike, really well.
How's the old one?
I mean, yeah,
That's the same as mine.
okay.
And it's, yeah.
At the store, the guy said, make sure you hold the bottle down onto the magazine for at least 7 seconds. And when I did that, it's sort of like, oh my God, it's got a lot of horsepower when you do that.
Good to know.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's a 7-second charge. Okay.
Okay, last one. I'll be the bad guy. You guys pick a room.
So you have the same model, huh?
Yeah, I was out.
When he was.
Yeah, I've got the-
More than one letter.
I can't remember the.
Tokyo Maru or something.
Something like that.
Yeah,
They all got
John
the
should have
same
been
place.
lighting over the top of you. Try
way
to
back
blow
when.
him back off that corner.
I was trying to, yeah, but that light is always. My mask is starting to fall down.
Me too. No, but the problem was you go ahead and shoot, and you didn't right about that. When he was shooting it up, I mean, I knew where he was, and he didn't shoot, so it was stupid.
And you gotta remember, like, he did this for 5 years. We used to train every, like, Tuesday or Wednesday night. He did this for 3 or 4 years straight. So, he's pretty good.
Well, I think that even without, I should get wet lighting ammunition.
In fact, I was telling somebody the story earlier today or yesterday, but we had a guy, my friend James Williams, is a trainer now, and he's friends with a guy named Paul Howe, who's an ex-Delta guy. And Paul needed some bad guys, so James asked me, he was coming out here to do a seminar. So I got Dean and our friend Mark, who had been training with us every night for like 3 or 4 years. And we go down to this power plant in Chula Vista, and these guys are, like the two of them are shooting up like a 16-man team that's comprised of like SEAL team guys and Special Forces guys and SWAT guys. And after like an hour or two, Paul comes to me and he goes, hey, could you tell your guys to stop shooting at my Special Forces guys? Because I'm working on some other skills, and like their gunfighting is just not good enough to keep up. Is that looking pretty good?
Yeah. Yeah, it's still going and looking crisp. People are watching. There's still 4. Bob and...
Cool.
Not for a middle room, because last time we tried that.
The middle room's
Back corner.
Alright.
So if that's cool with you guys, I mean. Thanks. Anything but that middle room.
That is the room of death.